Hey, what's up, brother?
A BB for Hodier.
A BB for Hodier? What's that?
It's African liberation, brother.
Oh, you got that knowledge, brother?
Knowledge, brother? Do you want the knowledge?
Every brother looking for some knowledge.
Look, if you're looking for the knowledge, let me tell you what the knowledge is. Just go to www.waronhorizon.com. Click on the store link. They have DVDs on religion, black freedom fighters, the homosexual war against the black race, black male-female relationships, the dangers of interracial mixing with whites, sexual abuse in the black community. Then they have the DVD lecture series on racism, white supremacy, the history of white-on-black genocide, and the powerful impact of the entertainment industry on the black race.
That sounds serious.
It's definitely serious, brother.
I hear what you're saying, brother, but sometimes I don't have a week to wait for something to come in the mail. You know what I'm saying?
Not a problem at all, brother. All the DVDs are available for electronic download, which you can get same-day delivery for $15 each.
Hey, man, I know it's only $15 and everything, but the economy kind of rough. You know, brother's pockets kind of tight, too.
Look, brother, that's not a problem at all. For $1 to $2 a piece, you can order any radio program available on the site.
Man, so look, y'all got any sisters down with this thing?
War on Horizon? Sisters? Of course. War on Horizon also features Children of Southampton products. They have the 2009 and 2010 Nat Turner Day weekend celebration. 1831 Turner Street featuring Them Memphis Boys, Brothers Keeper.
Okay.
Have you ever heard Sister Nefertari lecture?
Ah, I haven't.
You gotta check out that 500 Years of Dark Skin versus Light Skin.
Look, man, this stuff sounds kind of serious. They're not supposed to hate on it.
Yes.
Huh?
You hate being depressed, don't you?
Whoa. Brothers and sisters, we'll see you on the battlefield. War on the horizon. Gotta look.
This content may not be suitable for Euros, Negroes, and Homos.
The devil ain't got horns, he got buttermilk skin. It's time to make this cracker pay the penalty of sin. Lynched and hung for the color of our skin. Pay back like that, let's begin like this.
Hey, brother, did you try that new restaurant down the street?
Yeah, I went there yesterday. Man, the food was off the chain. And the chicken was like, how did he say that? Like, to die for.
Whoa.
To die for.
To die for, brother?
I'm saying, I mean, the chicken was good. You know what I'm saying?
Can't you just say the chicken was good? Does it have to be to die for? That sounds a little feminine.
Did you wear skinny jeans while you were eating the chicken?
Nah, I'm saying, I saying it was good, man.
Was it rainbow chicken?
Hold up, man. I just wear
milk with a sparkly buckle on it while you eating?
Was the server doing a sissy bounce?
Man, I'm just saying, the chicken was good. Look, man, the chicken was good, no homo.
Nah, it's time is past for no homo.
You're supposed to say it before, brother.
It's like a disclaimer.
I can't say, I just said no homo, though. There's no regulation on when you can say no homo. What are y'all, like a regulatory governing body over no homo or something?
Brothers and sisters, don't get caught up. Don't let the homosexual poltergeist pull you in. We are the final front in the war against white sex. Stand strong. This African service announcement has been brought to you by War on the Horizon Radio.
War on the Horizon. You gotta love it.
No homo.
Man, oh, here we go again, man. Two gay dudes kissing on the bus. That's what I'm talking about. You gotta be, man, they trying to turn everybody gay. You know what I'm saying, bro?
Nah, brother, I really don't know what you're talking about.
I'm saying, you see the bus. You see how they got the two dudes kissing on the joint. It's like commercials. Everywhere you go, everything gay. Youngers walking around with these little, the faggy fit jeans and everything. You know what I'm saying?
Well, brother, do you have hate in your heart?
What?
Yeah, that's not the Christianly thing to do. We should love our neighbors.
Man, I ain't loving no gay neighbors, Joe. It ain't say you gotta love your gay neighbors. It don't say love your neighbors. It don't say... I ain't talking about neighbors. I'm talking about faggies. So you saying you love faggies?
What I'm saying is, love is the most powerful force in the universe. And Jesus came to show us how we should love our brothers.
Man, you sounding real gay right now, talking about loving some brothers. Hold on, Joe, look, if you want to tell me something, just let me know. I might be preaching to the choir, man. I'm saying, the faggies, talking about loving, you know what, man? Forget this, man. I'm going to walk. Peace. Brothers and sisters, sometimes your arms is not long enough to box with spooky in the sky. Spend your time where it's most useful. This is the African service announcement. War on the Horizon. We'll see you on the battlefield. War on the Horizon. You gotta love it.
Yeah, no revolution. See, no revolution. Speak, no revolution. No, no revolution. Knowledge of self is quiet, dark as light and sound is to a blind deaf mute. Trained to hate anyone that loves you enough to care, and the truth you refute. Or is it that you love us to death? Freedom fighters feel that love like a knife to the chest. Malcolm felt that love in an Audubon ballroom. King in front of a Memphis hotel room. Khalid at dinner and Fred in his own bedroom. How soon we forget roles for the Black Wall Streets and Katrina's. Funneling the scorpions, now remembering the singers that killed Mama and Pawpaw. You can't tell me you didn't see what you saw. You are killing freedom. Man, you are killing the fight. That if you're that passionate, then kill your children tonight like Oprah did in Beloved. Or watch them be killed in front of you. Cause the system, you love it. Yes, granted a few civil liberties, but how much has really changed, I might ask? If the past is the prelude to the present and the present dictates the future, then are you so religious that you would just lay down and let them shoot you? Suffering from historical amnesia that makes you mumble empty rhetoric and undignified debates that equate to counsel like prostrate, killing our people from the inside, born of self-pride. You told me disease affected our race and our culture has died. Spiritual genocide, blitzed from the mouth of Satan and he lied. Blatant out of allegories, old to eventuate, stories of fables and winged ladies while murderers sell freedom for houses and Mercedes. The blood still drips from the mouths and hands of the cannibals of the caucus. Elated are the undertakers of his bidding, entranced by the scent of pine box sawdust. Freedom's death is a must, and the death of his soldiers a plus. And if God is the only one that I can trust, then why doesn't he smite my enemies? The one that claim to be doing their job while undercutting our fight for even his liberty. Victory is mine while you're talking against us. Victory is mine while you're plotting against us. Victory is mine while you're smiling in our face, and your race you disgrace, and the children's future you erase. But you're too educated to know it. Taught about everything other than yourself, and your actions show it. Screaming, don't wake me up. I don't want to know the truth. I don't want the solution. Manchurian candidates programmed to kill the revolution.
When the cracker can no longer touch us, he will pay some Negro to do so. Therefore, beware of the Negro who longs to be the overseer, for the overseer will purposely oversee your debt. Oftentimes, Negroes putting black power to rest. Isola Curry stabbed kings. Baylor busted redirected the people's dream. Ancient 800 snitched and lied on Garvey. Two slaves snitched to the cracker on Denmark Beatty. Fred Hampton and Mark Clark were set up by William O'Neill. He was working hard, but Nelson made the under-the-table deal. James Roberts knew of Malcolm's pending death. Shelby was paid to bring Lumumba's life to a rest. Khalid Muhammad was shot by James Best. Louis Tatmore instigated beef between the Panthers and U.S. Bootlicking at his best. Seven Negroes all up and through our race. Philip Randolph refused to help Robert Williams during the Kissinger case. Black entertainers with modern-day blackface. Thomas Mills tried to kill the leader of the RNA. Dr. Perry fired on black troops in L.A. back in the day. Had the party full of black rats. Julio Butler and Foreman on Geronimo Pratt. Somebody should have split his hat. For that is nothing less than treason. Bootlicking Tom Negroes snitching for financial reasons. Or maybe it's nothing more than fear. When you died, I've shed so many tears of joy. Will somebody please kill that Thomas Hagen boy? Why do we continue to allow these race traitors to roam about as if everything is fine, infiltrating our movement time after time after time? I love Winnie Mandela for them neckties. I agree with Malcolm and Khalid, an eye for an eye. I agree with my child. Snitches should be found dead in ditches. The cracker FBI agent and the so-called liberal cracker bitches. With my God and my gun, my trigger finger itches like Mama Harriet. Be free or die. Paying informants, making up lies, and our freedom fighters die. Standing in the way of liberation. Negro eugenics preachers selling the people crap for salvation. Kill yourself before we do. We just ran to kill the crackers, but we got to kill the cracker Negroes too.
My ancestors woke me up this morning. They said, son, you do know what time it is, don't you? I said, what time is that? They said it's wartime. So welcome to the war front, brothers and sisters. Bibi Fahodie, grab heaters with no delay. Glad to have you in on another fantastic evening with War on the Horizon.
Glad you could be with us this April 22nd, 2013, year of the white race. We want to bring those numbers to a screeching halt as soon as possible so that we can reclaim our destiny and control of the destiny and lives and the future of our children and our children's children and indefinite generations into the future. I want to thank you for tuning in. Let you know, brothers and sisters, last week we had when we had the One Horizon Rumble. I think that was last week. We had the largest listening audience and that we've ever had. I mean, people really, really, really tuned into that. We thank you for tuning in. We thank everybody who participated in the discussion. We really, 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 really thought we had a good time. Gave everybody a chance to give their opinion on something which not necessarily that we really think that there's two sides to, but, you know, when you have a family, and I mean the black family, you know, if you don't allow everybody to be able to express themselves, right, wrong, or indifferent, then you block out the potential for growth. And so we don't want to block out the potential for growth. That does not mean that any coon or shine, Negro, smiling, shuckabucking, cracker-loving Negro that calls up is going to get any kind of audience here. That's not what we're saying. But at the same time, if a brother or sister is struggling to understand or disagreeing or have a completely wrong position on something, we want to be able to hear it so that we can have the dialogue, so that we can change those African minds and capture those African minds. So we thank you. Thank you to Brother Jamo. Thank you to Brother Maurice for that dialogue, for that debate, that One Horizon Rumble in the jungle. And we thank everybody who participated and called, gave your opinion. It's more important that we have the dialogue so we can come to conclusions than that we have our own personal opinions and don't have the respect and appreciation for one another that we can speak to each other cordially and civilly when that's the right way to do. So I want to thank both of those brothers again for a fantastic program. Also want to let you know, first of all, it's not going to be a nice program. It hasn't hit me yet, the anger, but, you know, when I tell you what the program is going to be about tonight, it's not going to be a nice program, unless it just doesn't hit me. But it certainly hit me all this week with the massive coonery that's been going on with black males. It's killing me. But I did not want to be remiss. I want to thank Sister Lady Shabazz. She said, you know, we got to start telling people about the upcoming events. So I want to just run through a few events, and then we're going to talk about tonight's program, which is black men are a bunch of, we'll say, punks. And we're going to also give Farrakhan's reward. It's time that all of his evil deeds have reached to Amen now. And so we have to lay forth tonight the conclusion for Minister Farrakhan, how the black race is going to respond to his outright assault on the future interests of African people. And tonight, I want y'all to really stand with me tonight because I got something that's good. It's good. It's not good for him, but it's good for us as a race of people. It's a right way to do something that nobody has to physically be harmed. We don't have to have any physical skirmishes, but we can do something that is more effective than anything physically that we can do. And I want you to tune in tonight. Stay tuned in because we're going to talk about that. We're going to come to the conclusion of how this is going to be dealt with, and I hope you're with me on that. Let me just tell you about a few of the events that we having coming up. Saturday, May 11th, 2013, the master teacher, Ashra Kwesi, is coming into Washington, D.C. Again, that's Saturday, May 11th, 2013. He's going to be at Secrets of Nature, which is 3923 South Capitol Street, Southwest, Washington, D.C., 20032. The doors open at 2 p.m. It's going to be $20 for adult and $10 for students of all ages. So if you're 35 years old and you're getting your PhD, it's still $10 for you too. We suggest for everybody to come early because there will be limited seating. The only limited seating, and once the seats are gone and filled up, the seats are gone and filled up. So again, that's Saturday, May 11th, 2013. Doors open at 2 p.m. $20 for adults, $10 for children. It's at Secrets of Nature in Southwest Washington, D.C. So we want you to come out and enjoy that. The lecture is going to be the African Kemetic Mystery System versus Western Freemasonry. So all of this Illuminati and Illuminati and all of this stuff that we used to now, Baba's going to come through and knock all of that stuff out the box and tell us about the African Kemetic mystery system and compare it to this foolishness of this Western Freemasonry and how they've stolen everything from us. And he's going to break it down in a way that everybody can understand. So you got to come out and hear the master teacher, Ashra Kwesi. Also, May 18th, the Saturday after that, we're going to be in D-Town. That's right. We're doing it in the D. War on the Horizon live. We're going to have the lecture, 2 lectures actually. We're going to have the feminization of the black male. I know they need that in Detroit because those are supposed to be the hardest brothers in the country. And I found out them brothers just as soft as cottonelle these days. I said, this is terrible, you know. At one time, D.C. and Detroit, people would argue which one was the worst. Was Southeast D.C. the hardest place in America? Was it Cabrini Green in Chicago, or was it D-Town? And now ain't nobody asking that because I heard they switching in D-Town. So we got to do that at feminization of the black male, and we also going to do mind your black business because we understand a lot of the problems our people are facing in Detroit are because of what the Europeans have done to the economic lifeline of our people, and that's something we got to have a discussion. So we're going to do 2 lectures, but not only that, we're going to have a book signing. Lady Shabazz is going to be doing a book signing. This is Saturday, May 18th, 2013. It's in Detroit. She's going to be doing all 3 of her books, Conscious Entertainment, Conscious Book of ABCs, and God's Gift, How to Be a Good Black Woman to a Strong Black Man. And she's going to be talking about all of those. And we're going to have United Front that's going to be performing the entire time during the course of while we're doing the book signing and the lectures and the whole entire day. So it's going to be from 2 p.m. to 9 p.m. We're going to have a fabulous event. I shouldn't say fabulous. I can't use certain words now because of these fags. It's really getting on my nerves. Okay, it's going to be an outstanding event. You're going to really enjoy it. I'm really getting sick of these homos, man. They're taking everything. You can't look at the rainbow. You can't say fabulous. You can't even use big words sometimes. But anyway, it's going to be May 18th. So you're going to have a 1 week Ashra Kwesi master teacher in town, and very next week we're going to be live in Detroit doing it. United Front performing. Lady Shabazz, who will be going as Angela Freeman from now on. We'll be calling her Angela Freeman. And she'll be doing a book signing from 2 to 9 at Nandi's Knowledge Cafe, 12511 Woodward Avenue, Highland Park, Michigan, 48203. That's Nandi's, Nandi', ''S, Knowledge Cafe, 12511 Woodward Avenue, Highland Park, Michigan, 48203. So you don't want to miss that. That's May 18th, 2013. And then a week right after that, we're not going to stop, brothers and sisters, man. May is going to be off the chain. We're not playing on games in May, brothers and sisters. We're going to have Mind Your Black Business Part 3. Again, that's going to be a Secrets of Nature. It's going to be a free event for the African family. Come on out. No cover charge. And we're going to be doing Mind Your Black Business Part 3, Blueprint for Black Economic Warfare. Again, that's Mind Your Black Business Part 3. Most people have seen Part 1 and Part 2, which is the 2-parter. You enjoyed those. Well, this one's not going to be like those. This one's not going to be the one you could just sit down with your Negro friends and watch. Part 1 and Part 2, brothers and sisters were so happy. They said, hey, Irritated Genie, man, we really appreciate what you're doing. We think you're growing. You know, you gave us something that we can sit down with our grandmothers, and they'll sit down and watch it and go, wow, we really appreciate this information. Well, Part 3 ain't going to be like that. Part 3 ain't no fun way to do this. We're going to get our money back. We're going to get our economics back. It's serious. And so Part 3 of Mind Your Black Business is only for those who really want to hear the hard truth. And it's called Mind Your Black Business Part 3, Blueprint for Black Economic Warfare. So you want to come on out. That's May 25th, 2013, from 12 p.m. noon to 2 p.m. You want to come on out, check it out, and enjoy it. It's going to be a wonderful time. And we're going to have a very, very, very serious dialogue. We're going to make that one short, but it's going to be hard. So come on out and check that out. And I hope that I have satisfied the brothers and sisters that requesting that we make sure that we give everybody the information so that they don't miss out on the events that we have coming up. I want to get into this topic today a little bit. Also wanted to say before we start talking, thank all you brothers and sisters that have been going to warnhorizon.com, going to the store and purchasing things. That's how we survive. That's how we do the work that we're doing. So, we're going to be down in Florida soon. We're going to be in Delaware soon. And the way we're able to do this work is because you support us. You go online, you purchase, you buy, you get the stuff you need, you get that good education, but you also give us those funds in exchange for that information and help us continue doing what we're doing. So we want to thank you. We love you. We really appreciate you. And the fact that you see that the information has the kind of value that you'll exchange it and do good business with us, it really warms our heart, because that's the only way we're going to get out of this, with collective work and unity and some of that Ujima, collective economics, I think it is. All right, so see, I'm trying to get on my Kwanzaa too, get a brother a little love here, but tonight, brothers and sisters, let me just tell you, what's happening. First, it was a couple of weeks ago, Brother Corey, good brother, Southeast cat, you know how they go. Brother told me, man, look, man, did you see the video? I said, what video? He said, the cracker on the train. I said, a cracker on the train, what? He said, the cracker on the Green Line train in Soufeese, who was calling the black people the N-word or whatever, and ain't nobody do nothing. So I was like, what? Now, understand, I ride the Green Line every day. And, when they say the Irritated Genie of Soufeese, Soufeese is Soufeese. I mean, Soufeese has a reputation that precedes it. Berry Farms, Congress Heights, Valley Green, Parkland. For those that don't know, it doesn't mean anything to you, but it would be the same in your city. There's certain areas that just have a reputation where everybody knows that's just a place you don't play around with. So I said, nah, man, send it to me. So I'm thinking it's just going to be some cracker, maybe like crazy cracker, and the black people just ignored them. Nah, brothers and sisters. This cracker got a train full of black people. I mean, big black dudes on there. And this cracker is on the train, and he's cursing at these black people. And so a sister's like, look, you need to calm down, calm down. She trying to help him out. I don't know why, but you know how we get, loving Peckerwoods, but he starts yelling at her. So then this Peckerwood starts yelling at everybody. And then a sister behind him says, look, I'll cut your throat. You don't talk to me that way. And she just talking trash. You know how sisters are. I will cut your throat. She talking trash. And this cracker says, you B? He starts calling the B. A B. He starts calling her, straight up, he starts calling her the B word. So I'm looking at it like, oh, I know that one of these dudes is about to put the hammer on this dude. And I just knew as soon as he said that, I said, oh, man, he about to get clean. Like my immediate instinct was like, dang, I'm waiting for the hook because I know it's coming. I'm like, one of these bambas going to catch him with a vicious joint. Or one of these sisters going to throw a pocketbook at him or something, and then they just going to all stomp him. I'm like waiting for the South Side love. You know what I'm saying? That's what we used to call the South Side love. I knew he was going to get stomped. I said, man, I know, because that's one of the famous things we known for. Not we, like I didn't have nothing to do with that, but I'm saying those people from Southeast that would do those type of things was known for stomping dudes. They like to get you on the ground so they can put them boot prints on you. So I said, this cracker going to definitely get the boot print, and I was just laughing because I was waiting for it. And as the people start yelling and screaming more at him, he starts yelling and screaming and using the N-word, calling them the N-word. So then he just gets sick of the whole thing, and this cracker, standing by himself, telling you ain't going to do nothing to me. You ain't going to do nothing to me. He reaches over to a sister and starts punching her. He must have punched her 3 or 4 times. And is on top of her, just kind of like punching her. And she's wrestling back with him, and I'm like, you got to be kidding me. So he then stops punching her, holds his little bag. He got the little roll bag, the little roll bags. You pull up the thing, and then you lean it on the wheels and take it and get on the plane like a carry-on. He's standing with a little gay white boy, little carry-on. And after he finishes punching her, he puts a little hat on or a scarf or whatever it is, and just stands there like, y'all ain't going to do nothing to me. Nobody hit him. I was like, it's like it was really a supernatural event to me, because I was like, and it's just between me and y'all, don't tell nobody, but like, I'm not any way, shape, form, or thug or anything of that nature, but I think probably about once a year I end up having to slap a cracker on the train, but it's nothing like I want to. It's like they do some kind of egregious thing, like just cracker stuff. And I end up slapping a cracker, and that's pretty much it. I mean, they don't ever do nothing back. They just get slapped. I'm just used to that. Like when I grew up, you just slap a cracker if he get out of hand. You didn't, on the workplace, he rules, but the cracker in the street don't rule nothing. I mean, the cracker knows he's inferior. It's like you're supposed to rule the streets. The police rule in the street. That's the only cracker that has any credibility. All the other crackers shut up when you tell them to shut up. I mean, that's just kind of where I come from and how I was raised. It was like, crackers just don't have any validity. They're not really viable beings when you're in the street. You just smack them around, I mean, I just don't get it, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, have at least once a year, invariably, it's totally not my fault. I end up having to have a nice dialogue with a European, and they always chill out. I ain't never had a situation where one of them actually went all the way, and maybe I need to be prepared for that because, I don't want to end up like these coons and shines. But I realized when I watched that, I said, man, when we did the feminization of the black male, we wasn't playing. It's not just homosexuality. These wasn't fags. These were Southeast dudes standing on the train. Some of them saying to themselves, man, I would punch him in his face, but I don't want to get locked up. Other ones saying they just scared or don't know what to do. I don't know what these bags were saying. All I know is there's a bunch of punks, man. I mean, it don't really matter. Once he put his hands on the sister, because nobody hit him. It wasn't like she hit him and then he hit her back. Not that it should have mattered, but I'm saying he's on a train full of black people in the hood. And nobody put them boots on the dude. We're a bunch of fags. I realize why our women have no respect for us, and they really shouldn't. There's nothing that black women, there's no way they can have any expectations from a train full of black men who would stand there and watch a cracker attack a black woman. And so now I'm talking to another sister, and just to let you know, next week we're going to have Brother Walimu Baruti on the station, so he's going to be doing a program with us next week. And after Brother Baruti does the program with us next week, the week after that, we're bringing on a sister who is a paramedic, and right here in the metropolitan area. And I'm telling this story, I'm telling you she's coming on 2 weeks from now because she wasn't able to come on next week because it goes right in line with what we're talking about. And I really need y'all to help me out with this, brothers and sisters. Years ago, it may have been a year ago, year and a half ago, we were doing a radio program. And we were talking about these fags and how fagged out everything is. I really don't know what we were talking about, to be honest with you. But I know a lot of y'all listen to the archives, so please help me with this. A brother called up from Texas who said he was a fireman. And he talked about how, as a fireman in Texas, that the white boys be like fondling the brothers with some kind of gay stuff. And the brothers too scared to lose their job, so the white boys be grabbing their penises and rubbing their buttocks and stuff with little gay little stuff and saying little stuff to the brothers, and the brothers are scared to do something because they don't want to lose their job. And we had a long conversation because we were like, is this real? And the brother was like, yeah, and you could tell he kind of experienced it, but that he was fighting back. You know what I'm saying? He was trying to muster up the courage to kind of step out there and say, no, I can't tolerate this. And I want y'all to tell me what program that is because I have no idea which program that was, brothers and sisters. But we need that because I want to play that when I bring the sister on next week because this is why I believe what she said. Because when she said it, this rang back in my head, and I said, the sister's not exaggerating. The sister says that there are brothers in the police department. I mean, not the police, the fire department. And basically, this is how it works around here. She said, basically, the white boys ride around. It's a black city now. And basically, the fireman's thing is we hate getting in the ambulance because they don't call it the ambulance. They call it the dump truck. And they call it the dump truck because they say all we ever do is pick up trash. Now, let me make that relevant for everybody that's listening. You in a city like D.C., most of the people that get shot or harmed or injured are black. So basically, the crackers are saying, since we got to go pick up black people, we trash. So they hate because, they always put a fireman in the vehicle because they trained on different CPR and different type of stuff like that when it's a shooting or something like that. So she said, this is how the crackers talk. And she said that the brothers get treated So bad. The crackers, she started talking, and she was talking for a long time how much punks these dudes are. Like, let's say a fire happens in the city, and the brothers helping to put the fire out, and then it's a sister that was caught in the fire with the smoke, and she need oxygen. So a brother will give her an oxygen mask, and the cracker will come out and say, nah, she don't need no oxygen, and take the oxygen mask off of her. Basically trying to hope she die. So the sister said she'll come on the scene and be like, oh, nah, we're not having that. And put the thing back on. Like, why did you let them take the thing off? He's like, well, he's the supervisor. You know, he's the one in charge. She like said, who cares? These are your people. What the heck are you doing? She says it's frequent that it happens, or a person will get shot, and they'll just leave them there. They won't take them in, even though they're not dead, or you don't really know if they're dead or not. You're supposed to try everything until it's finally done to make sure that they're not dead. But the crackers are pretty much like, they got shot, leave them there. And the brothers will go along with it and won't do anything. But when it really got crazy, which really rung the bell, because while she was telling me all this stuff, I'm sitting there listening. She said, and they be like grabbing the brothers, playing these little games. She said, I see it. I ain't telling you what I heard. I be seeing it. Like, they'll come back and try to grab the brother butt, and the brother supposed to put his hand there real fast before the white boy hit him on the butt. Or he'll try to grab his penis, and the right brother got to put his hand there so he can block it, like some kind of gay game or something. I was like, do these families be smacking these crackers? I was like, are you serious? She was like, it's so bad that they got, like, some of the women sleep in the bathroom because these crackers got, like, bed mattresses on the regular floor. The crackers got mattresses on the floor. That's how gay they is. They just all, she said, it's almost like the black leaders, how all of them got to bend over, or like the entertainment industry. She didn't say this, but when I was listening, this is what I was hearing. It's almost like a little gay rites of passage kind of thing, and the firemen's like, you got to kind of go along to get along with the little gay stuff, even if you ain't totally like super gay, but like little gay stuff, like the stuff you should be smacking Bama's teeth out with. These Bamas are a bunch of punks. They actually watch black people die, or watch these crackers mistreat black people, and they don't do nothing because they don't want to lose their job. She'll say something to them, and they be talking about how, well, I mean, I ain't never had a good job like this. And like, but this is a person that's dying. What are you talking about? And it's like, when I was hearing her say it, I was going back to the train. Matter of fact, that's how it started, because I telling her about the train situation. She said, that ain't nothing. And she started talking about the firemen and how weak they were. And I was like, nah, but this is South. She said, that ain't no Southeast nothing. Northeast, Southeast. She said, a bunch of punks. She said, these brothers up in there are a bunch of punks. They have no manhood whatsoever. She is the one that stands up more than anybody else. All the rest of them are scared. So I started talking about a dude that I've known for years that's in the fire department. Come to find out, when I said, because I had noticed something that he did when I went there one time to pay him for something. And I mentioned it. She said, yeah, I know him. And then she told me a story about him that I could tell was true because it was the same kind of thing. I said, yep, that sounds like him. I was like, wow, so it's like that. I said, I knew something was wrong. The way he was acting when I came up there was totally different than he normally acts. She said, yeah. My point being, brothers and sisters, black men are a bunch of bees, man. I don't use that language on the radio. I try to cut down the profanity altogether, but I definitely don't use it on the radio. But this is one night I really wish I could use some real profanity. I'm sick. I had so much profanity laced. I don't know how to say this without profanity, but I'm not going to use the profanity, but please read my mind. I'm sick of these weak dudes, including myself. We got to start doing stuff, man. We cannot have a black woman be getting attacked on a subway that's black, and that cracker not get so. That cracker should look like a pancake or a waffle. He should have so many footprints on his face that, man, he should look like a Bigfoot or something. I mean, this man should be a Sasquatch or something. I don't understand where we are as black males that, okay, let's say the cracker was just talking. You still should slap him just because he's a cracker, but sometimes you might be like, man, I ain't even trying to get into it because I don't need no mess right now. But once he throw a punch, I mean, it's your God-given responsibility as a black man to brutalize him in the worst, most magnificent kind of way. It's supposed to be legendary. If it's on, if they put it on YouTube, it's supposed to be something where they say, where they give you the little funny little cracker message. this may be violent and it may be too violent. Maybe they ban it because it's too violent. You got to put it on separate websites or something. Or if you can watch it, they give you the little thing, what you about to see may be inappropriate. It's graphic violence, parental discretion is advised, something with a vicious, sadistic cracker whipping. I'm going to just be honest, man. Black men are a bunch of faggots, man. I'm including myself in that because these crackers, they so... We allowing everything to occur. We allowing anything goes on in the black community. I don't even have words for this. I mean, a sister gets attacked on the train. Brothers are firemen. You gotta be kind of strong to be a fireman. You gotta be holding them big hoses and doing all this stuff and everything. You supposed to. You ain't never supposed to be in blue collar work and be a black man and not have a lot of foot in them white boys behind. They supposed to know. They may get a promotion over you because they got power to do that. But if they come out their mouth wrong, they're going to get twisted. Even if you can't twist them personally, you're supposed to it's like that. Okay, no problem. Leave out, call your folks, and say, look, man, I got a 200 on it, man. My next check, I promise you, I'm going to give you 200. I just need this by my face broke, Joe. I need his face broke, iron pipe and all, Something. The Bama supposed to get it. He supposed to have a bad day on his way home, you know what I'm saying? He's supposed to get robbed. And I'm not saying that we should do any criminal behavior. I'm just saying, if God see fit, I'm going to see fit, that cracker supposed to pay viciously. Like teeth, losses and stuff, leg broken, just head shots, bats, just something grimy, man. We got to start being men again. We're a bunch of faggots, man. I don't like black men anymore. I don't even like the word black man because I'm like, who am I talking about? These crackers are getting away with man, there's no black manhood. I'm sick to my stomach. Listen, to my sisters, I want y'all to do me a favor. If y'all ever see a situation like what I'm talking about, I want y'all to scream at the top of your lungs. Y'all brothers supposed to do something. You make these brothers do something. You tell them it's your responsibility. As a black woman, you do not let that cracker do that. And you say something. And listen to me, because I did see this on the train as well, so I got to mention this in passing. If by chance somebody starts arguing with you, which it will be, and you know who that's going to be, it's going to be a black woman, because the black woman is always defending the devil, then you tell her to shut her damn mouth and let these brothers do what they need to do. And then you stand in front of her so she can't be a witness to what happened. Don't let that negress take down no brothers that do their job. And if you of the inclination and you can get away with it, if she try to be real snitch on the brothers and stuff like that when it's over, smack her upside her head too. I'm sick of these race traders, but brothers, y'all don't say nothing to no sisters because we ain't men right now. We ain't got no right to be saying nothing to no black women. They shouldn't even be speaking. I'm not exaggerating. There's brothers walking around with pink pants, man. I'm talking about pink pants. I'm making it in jest because I it's not appropriate, but I really feel like I should really start going up and smacking dudes. They wearing pink pants, or at least saying, bro, why you wearing pink pants, man? That's gay, man. Stop. Just stop what you're doing now. You that's gay. It's nothing to talk about. You just gay, man. You acting like a fag, dude. You got pink pants. Go home, take that pink pants off. Don't ever wear it again. I think that's what I'm gonna do. Next time I see a brother with some pink pants, I'm gonna say, dude, are you a fag? Because if you're not, you ain't supposed to have on pink pants, man. I'm not feeling your hardcore right now. I'm very disturbed by that. If you're a man, brother, I want to see you look like a man, brother. Don't wear pink. Don't ever wear them again, man. That's gay. Don't ever do that to me or yourself again. I'm of the mindset to really say that because I just received a link and I don't even know if I want to open it for real because I know it's gonna be some. Oh man, they got Shaquille O'Neal in some pink panties. All right. Oh man. The dude wearing pink panties, man. Shaquille O'Neal's wearing pink panties. I'm not exaggerating. I know y'all think I'm joking. I'm really not lying. I'm not like making it up. Shaquille O'Neal's wearing pink panties. I don't. And you know what, man? We gotta start cussing dudes out, man. You can do it different ways. You don't have to use profanity, or you can. It doesn't really matter to me. But we got to start rolling up on dudes saying, matter of fact, this is one thing we're going to do. And everybody that wants something, let us know. Matter of fact, we're going to raise money so that we can buy enough of them so we can send them around the country to anybody that wants to do it. We're going to start having cards. We already talked about it. One of them is going to have, if a black man and black woman are together, it's going to basically say you made the right choice. Anytime we see a brother and a sister together, no matter how old they are, we're going to hand them one of our cards. You made the right choice. We're going to have a black man and black woman say black love on one side. Say ain't nothing better than a black woman. Ain't nobody better than the black man for the black woman. You know, say something like that. And then have a little warning horizon right there and say thank you for making the right choice. We're going to start passing out them cards. We also going to start passing out some man-up cards. I'm dead serious. We're going to start passing out some man-up cards. We're going to start passing out the man-up cards. Dudes wearing pink pants, we got to give him a man-up card, man. Just, if you don't want to say nothing to him directly, say, excuse me, brother, let me give you one of those. All right, brother. And give him a man-up joint. You know, with some basic things. Do not wear pink. Don't be a fag. Men are for women. Just, I don't know, just some basic man your punk behind up. Be there for your children. Just some basic man stuff. Simple, simplistic man stuff. We got to do it, man. If you act like a fag, you are a fag. You put on women's clothes, you're a transvestite. You're not a spiritual giant. We don't give a damn what farrakhan said. And I'm about to get to that clown in a second. But, yeah, I can't. We got to do something about this stuff. But I'm serious. We're going to do this. We're going to raise. It ain't that much. It ain't going to cost that much. Raise a couple of $100. And then everybody that wants some can get them. So we're going to send them around the country so that, you know, you have some cars. We order them. We get like a couple thousand of them. Then we send you 100, send the next person 100, and then you just do it. Then we also want to have one for if somebody interracially dating. You want to have you know, some kind of card to say you made the wrong choice. You know what I'm saying? You know, no, get back to black or something. Or get back to black card. You know, something like that. To basically tell them, look, don't deplete the race and kill the race. So these are the things that we're gonna do, brothers and sisters. On that note, but basically, I just wanted to have a show to basically tell black men, y'all ain't. I don't curse on the radio, but I really want to use some profanity. But I'm including myself. We ain't. We a bunch of fags, man. I mean, somebody just when I'm talking about faggots walking around, these dudes walking around with these pink pants and pink shirts and pink outfits and pink shoes and green shoes. Somebody send me a Shaquille O'Neal and some pink drawers, pink I don't even know what they call it, the little tighty whitey the underwears, the pink underwears, stand up with a cracker, and all he got on is underwears. First of all, you a man, you ain't supposed to be walking around with no underwears. And then he got pink underwears. He walking around everywhere with these pink underwears, brothers and sisters. He's just walking outside with some pink underwear. Man, it's a bunch of fags, man. The whole race, the black males, we just fagging out, brothers. So we ain't doing it. Now, this Farrakhan guy, I'm gonna do something, and then because I want to get to the phone lines, so I'm gonna do it. And keeping with the same thing, this whole punkified, fagified, weak, effeminized black male posture, I realize, to some degree, I think we've been mature with how we dealt with Minister Farrakhan, but for real, on Man Up Time, this is one of the worst race traders our race has ever produced, and we've been too nice to him. And I'm going to read some counts now. I got 14 counts here. I got 15 counts. I'm going to read all 15 of these counts, and then I'm going to tell you, I can't tell you, I'm going to suggest, I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do. And I'm hoping that y'all brothers and sisters will be with me on this. Farrakhan deserves, he's gotten a pass for many years because of the great work he had done at one point. What has he done for us lately but turn his back and spit on us as a race of people? Nothing. That's all he's done is spit on us as a race of people. And so I think I have an adequate compensation for his misdeeds to our people. And I think y'all are going to appreciate it. I hope y'all will walk with me on this because it's a lot of pain involved in the damage that he's trying to do and that he's participating in as he prostitutes himself out. I was talking to a brother today, and the Bible told me, he said, he ain't nothing but a prostitute. He said, anything for money. Anything for money. He might not have sex for money, but he'll sell the race out, so he's like a political prostitute. And I was hearing, I said, man, because, you know, at one time he was a black god and a giant. Now he's just nothing but a prostitute or a pimp. Pimping us, or a prostitute and a pimp. Somebody pay him, he'll pimp us. So just like them pimps up, hoes down, all that crazy weird stuff. He just like that. Pay him some money and he'll walk out there with his slick head swagger and lead our people astray for a dollar bill, for a nice coat. for a couple of $1,000, $1 million, or whatever he's getting to sell our race down the drain. So I'm going to read these charges, and then I'm going to tell you what I think that his compensation will be. Since it's man up time, it's time to man up. All of this nice guy stuff with Farrakhan is no longer acceptable. His crimes have reached Ahmed. He's gone too far. And I'm going to list some of these crimes, and these are not all of them. These are just some of them. Number 1, expelling Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad from the Nation of Islam. Not expelling him, but essentially expelling him when he put him on suspension in front of the cracker media. No matter what. I'm not even going to debate whether or not Dr. Khalid should have been put out the nation for being who he was. It's not my organization. That ain't important. At the end of the day, there was no justifiable reason for him to go in front of a bunch of peckerwoods and tell Dr. Khalid to come out to be prostrated in front of some peckerwoods to announce this. That's not important for the peckerwood to know. If he was going to do it, he should have kept him in the same thing. The cracker don't know, but everybody in the nation know. And if the cracker asked a question, he should say, nah, we'll never suspend that man. He's too much of a giant, even if he was suspended. To go before the cracker tells you who he really works for. That's the number 1 charge. Number 2, holding a fake Million Youth March to offset Dr. Khalid's Million Youth March. I don't know if y'all remember, but Dr. Khalid called the Million Youth March. And it was in New York. And so Farrakhan decides he wants to prevent Dr. Khalid from getting the ear of the young people. He throws a little punk. And the reason I call it a punk is because I watched some of it on TV. He had dudes in Atlanta, faggy Atlanta, playing violas. I swear to God, bro, I watched this dude get up on a stage, a little punk dude, talking about, yes, I'm representing Farrakhan, and dude in the nation playing a viola. Playing a little chin harp. Who wants to hear a chin harp? Dr. Khalid is up there fighting police and standing up for the young people, and got Dr. Ben on the stage and the nationalists out there speaking to our people. And Farrakhan got a daggone a Negro shining. They was up there talking gibberish, playing violas, putting our people to sleep, probably helping people turn the fags down in Atlanta. But he wasn't doing it. It wasn't like they scheduled it. Once they found out Dr. Khalid did it, he decided he going to throw one. That's just nothing but Negro treasonism, trying to destroy somebody else. He's not even with you no more. There's no reason for you to be trying to destroy him now. He's not challenging you. Number 3. Well, now I might as well throw number 3 in here. Banning Dr. Khalid from the Million Man March. Because that's another thing. Why is it that this man did all this work for his race, and you can have faggot Al Sharpton, you can have messy Jesse race trading Jackson, you can have all of these punks and chumps and Uncle Toms and bootlickers and race traders at the Million Man March talking about nothing. I don't even know what none of them clowns said. The Jesse's so hated by his own people that the brothers in the nation was like, now we're going to bring Jesse up here now. Now be right, brothers, and said they had to prep the people so that Jesse didn't get booed. But you won't have the real black man to come up there. Why? Because you wanted to be some fake Muslim Mason talking about how tall a daggone monument is and Jefferson Memorial High. Nobody will hear that Muslim Freemasonry nonsense. What are you, a Muslim, a Freemason? What are you? What are you? We don't know what you are. Light supremacist? What are you? Will you make up your mind? But in order to destroy Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad, you don't let him come speak in order that you can come up there and give a weak speech and not say nothing to us. As a speech at the Million Man March is so forgettable. Nobody ever plays it. Nobody even remembers it. Number 4, sending a disrespectful and condescending letter to Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad's funeral. I was there. So can't nobody tell me. I sat there and listened to this stinking letter. And I was like, I wouldn't even have read the letter. The whole letter was condescending and basically, from my memory, basically said, how you did. How about that? I mean, it was a real stinking, nasty letter. You should have been there. Actually, you're a race trader. You shouldn't have been there. You didn't deserve to be and see a man like that off. But it was very disrespectful, brothers and sisters. Number 5, inviting a fag, Cleo Monago, to speak at the Millions More March. How you going to have a fag speak from your forum about fagdom? It's different if you got a fag that you don't know is a fag and he's speaking about something and you find out he was a fag later. You be like, oh, I didn't know. But how you going to know a dude is a fag and his position is I have a fag organization and I'm pushing fagdom and have them speak to our people from your forum. What does one call a man who supports a fag promoting homosexuality? What do you call that? Farrakhan. Number 6, he fiddling for the Jews. I'm sick, man. That Cheshire cat grin and that big viola. I can't really explain why that's a crime against our people. But it's just something about a black man with a viola who's supposed to be like powerful and strong, playing the viola from some small hats with a big Cheshire cat grin on his face. That just seems like a crime to me, so I'm just going to put that down. Number 7, integrating the NOI. Inviting Peckerwoods into the NOI. I remember I went in 2001, I think it was, to Chicago to Savior's Day, and he had Asians. They was having an Asian chapter of the NOI come up here. And I'm like, okay, it's one thing to have a strategic alliance with a military group and do some things, but you want to actually integrate the nation? How egregious a crime can you commit? Number 8, calling crackers, including L. Ron Hubbard, his brother. How do you be walking in the shadow of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad and call any Peckerwood your brother? Now, we done heard him call L. Ron Hubbard my brother. And I got to say this to you Negroes out there, because I know some of you Negroes out there, and I would want to love y'all, but I'm going man style tonight. I can't love you if you loving this guy anymore. If you still out there defending this filth and decadence, I got to ask, you're not really a man. Because a man has limits. Even when he loves somebody. Even your mother, you have limits. But if your mother starts doing dope, you ain't going to leave your grandchild over there while she's doing dope. Yeah, you know you love her. Yeah, you trust her. But if she's doing dope, you got limits because you're a man. To be supporting Farrakhan now, you're not a man. You're not a man. Because you have nothing that you stand on. I can understand the women doing it. Women kind of can do that, follow anything. They'll follow a black man into a toilet. One time a brother said, if you see a man that's down in the dumps, laying in the alley, you'll see his woman right next to him. You see, our women, they support us in whatever we do, good or bad. And I said, wow, that's deep. And I can see that, but I can't see no real man that thinks he's a man going to defend the foolishness Farrakhan is doing. Especially this stuff calling these crackers his brothers. Number 9, pushing Scientology over Elijah Muhammad's teachings. I've been looking at the little subliminal messages on these pictures. Elijah Muhammad book falling off the table. Big Scientology Zeno book sitting on the top of the table. How can you spit on the legacy of Elijah Muhammad in front of people's faces? Why would you even have a picture of some Scientology, this, that, or the other, on anything that's supposed to be? I mean, I'm not Muslim, so I don't really care from a religious perspective, but I still respect Elijah Muhammad. So if I see something that represents Elijah Muhammad, I don't want to see no cracker stuff around. I just want to see Elijah Muhammad stuff because I love Elijah Muhammad. If you start putting cracker stuff next to Elijah Muhammad, then you start messing me up because now you making it look like Elijah Muhammad supported crackers. He wasn't no integrationist. Elijah Muhammad said the whites are devils. He ain't love no crackers, wasn't talking about marrying no crackers and all of this filth. That's one of the things he said Malcolm was a hypocrite for, saying he met some good crackers. Now Farrakhan said, yeah, them good crackers Malcolm was talking, we're going to bring them in the nation. So how can Minister Farrakhan talk about Malcolm was a traitor and everything that he said that Malcolm was a traitor for doing, he done 10 times as worse. Number 10, committing treason against the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. There's no way an intelligent, thinking human being can say you can listen to the most honorable Elijah Muhammad and what he asked for and what he said would happen, and then listen and see the things that Farrakhan is doing and not say he has turned on the most honorable Elijah Muhammad and his teaching. And Elijah Muhammad said something years ago. He said that one day there will be a hypocrite, a turncoat that will make Malcolm's trip to Mecca look like child's play. That there will be somebody that will be so egregious in their racial treason towards the Nation of Islam that it will be unspeakable. And I would say that we thought that it was Waradin Muhammad. But at this point, I'm going to say it's Waradin Muhammad and Farrakhan, which goes to number 11, reconciling with Waradin Muhammad, who talks terrible about the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, who hooked up with Jim Jones and a bunch of brothers and sisters that would have been in the nation, loving their brothers and sisters and hating these devils, end up drinking some Kool-Aid or getting fed some Kool-Aid or shot in the back of the head or murdered in Guyana following Jim Jones behind support for Wafd Muhammad. How you going to hook up with a faggot like Jim Jones? Jim Jones was a faggot. Used to have sex with the males and the females and their children. I mean, a fag white cracker. I mean, this cracker was, a straight fag. I mean, I ain't gonna lie, he was a good orator. I mean, he could speak. He could rile you up if you didn't know he was a devil. But if you got the most honorable Elijah Muhammad's teachings, or Garvey's teachings, or Nat Turner's teachings, or Harriet Tubman's teachings, or Ida B. Wells Barnett's teachings, or if you're just an intelligent black person, even Negro Christians wasn't running around with no faggot Jim Jones, weirdo cult dude. And he do that, and then he going to reconcile with Wafd Muhammad, who speaks so ill of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. There's no way you can say you love Elijah Muhammad and then be walking around holding hands and being cool with no Wafd Muhammad. This is a race traitor. Number 12, insinuating that Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad and Brother Malcolm X were homosexuals. Honestly, this was the last straw. When he did this, I really said, I'm going to make sure that I don't die. I'm not going to die without returning the consequences for this. You cannot do this, man. He said, see, we can't say we love Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad. You cannot say you love him. And then listen to Farrakhan make up some fantastic tale to desecrate this man in his grave and basically say he's molested and basically call him a fag. He don't know what to do with a woman when he get in. The same thing about Malcolm X, telling him to read a book that said Malcolm was a fag, and he telling people if you read that book. So in this real clever little Farrakhanish way, he up there telling people to go, and so he's supporting the concept and he's putting it out there with them soft touches like we a bunch of fools, because he like a small hat. He think that we so dumb we can't read his little silly Negro condescending white supremacist disrespect to our brother. How you going to say you love Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad and ever give any reverence or appreciation or any respect to Farrakhan ever again? You're a turncoat. You know how Dr. Khalid was. Do you think he would let you tap dance on that? How can you love Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad and not demand either? Matter of fact, it's not even worth it. He cannot apologize for it. Once he committed that crime, he can't apologize. We should not be demanding an apology for it. He can't apologize. He cannot go back from that. You can't take our warrior who's dead in the grave physically, but whose spirit still lives in us, and then desecrate him before the world and get away with it. You can't do it. Teaching black people that we were cursed. I mean, this Negro get up there talking about we got cursed into years ago we disobeyed God. Negro can't tell you what we did to disobey God. Just tell you we disobeyed God. Just some generic thing. We disobeyed God, and so we got cursed to get into the middle of the woods of Africa, and because the heat was so, the humidity was so great, our noses got large. That was the curse, and our hair got up in kinks, and that was a curse that we got to get kinks, and so that's why the hair on our head is supposed to be the same texture as the hair on our eyebrows. This sick coon, this shining white supremacist wannabe mulatto Negro, this shiny-haired Negro with a conch, gonna sit up here and tell the rest of us black people who are proud of who we are that the reason we black and we got black hair is because we cursed. And because he got some slick, slippery hair, some slick, wavy, look like one of them crackers out of a 1950 doo-wop song or something. He got one of them funny cracker where they wrap their straight hair around their head thing going on there. So now all of a sudden, the rest of us are cursed. But if you light-skinned like him, I'm talking about he got Jewish ancestry. If you got Jewish ancestry and you real light like him, and you got hair on your head that's the same texture as the hair on your eyebrow, I guess you better than Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad because he was a jet black African black man. So, okay, you better. We'll see how better you are, Farrakhan. See, you're not going to get away with this, Farrakhan. Calling Tyler Perry a spiritual giant, number 14. This was, it was already it. It was already it when he disrespected Dr. Khalid on all of these events, but particularly when he tried to call Dr. Khaled and Brother Malcolm fags. We know what he was trying to say. That it was already over, but this is a little more egregious. I'm going to tell you why. When you get a petty type of dude who's jealous of somebody, they'll try to do personal attacks against people because they petty and they jealous. That's farrakhan. But this is worse, though, because this ain't got nothing to do with nothing petty. When you see the condition of our people and you see the epidemic crisis, the pandemic epidemic crisis of gender confusion, homosexuality, effeminization, emasculization of our women, the complete sexual dysfunction of our race, and you go out and take the icon for transvestite faggotism, and you say that that person is not a giant, but you say a spiritual giant, what you are saying is that homosexuality is spiritual and godly. You're saying that Tyler Perry is godly. Well, what kind of man thinks that a faggot is in line with God? I know white folks think that. White homosexuals think that. I ain't never in my life met a real black man that would stand in front of a group of black people and say, I think that homosexuals are children of God. I heard Desmond Faggot Tutu say that, but he's a faggot. And if he ain't a faggot, he acts like a faggot. He's a cracker-loving Negro coon that forgave the crackers that murdered black people in Africa, in South Africa during the times when they was in apartheid proper. Oh, forgive the crackers, but then he wants to talk negative about Winnie Mandela. That faggot. We don't have no respect for Nelson Mandela. I mean, Nelson Mandela, but I wasn't talking about Nelson Mandela. We don't have no respect for him either. But that Desmond Tutu, what kind of faggot name is Tutu? Man named Tutu. No wonder we got a bunch of fags getting married in South Africa. Need to get rid of Tutu and put in Zulu. And number 15, and I think for a lot of people, this one going to resonate real hard. Disappointing millions of supportive black people worldwide. People who have put hours of their lives, hundreds of thousands of dollars of their own money, their hope and aspirations, their children's futures. Many of us, I bought my first gun, and I'm dead serious. When I think it was after 95. I had a job, so I was making a little bit of money, not a lot. I moved to the apartment building, so it was 1996. And got a little apartment building, 4 unit, was trying to do something for myself. And after that Million Man March, I said, man, they do something to this dude. I can't just go out like in the past. I said, I'm going to kill me a cracker, man. I'm killing me a cracker. I said, well, I can't talk it. I got to have something to do that with. So I went and bought a shotgun. I didn't buy a shotgun because I thought I needed it, because I wanted it. I bought a shotgun because I said, if anything happens to Farrakhan, I'm going to kill me a cracker. I don't care if it's a homeless cracker. I don't care if it's a cab driver cracker. Any cracker. Don't be light-skinned that night, because if I mess around and mistake you too light-skinned, I'll be like, oh, I made a mistake. Somebody going to die, though. I went out and bought a shotgun. I had to wait a couple of weeks in D.C. the way they had it. I had to go down to Maryland. They had sold my shotgun, so I had to get another one. But I had it, bought the thing, that before I even learned how to shoot it, I had it. So I knew that I'm ready to kill me somebody if anything happens to this man. Well, that's my story, but you got so many people who changed their lives because of this man, who changed the whole way they live because of this man, who dropped out of school because of this man, who not in a bad way, but because they want to commit themselves to something else, say, I can put my life on hold because I want to help this man raise the nation and get us free as a race of people. Man, so many people around the world who, some were Muslims, some were not, but they love the man so much. I was one of them, that if he'd have told us to go out and start killing crackers, we'd have done it right then and there. If he'd have told us to sell everything we own and send the money in because he had something planned for us to do, we'd have done it. The biggest crime I'm going to say he's committed, and I ain't really saying it's the biggest, but I'm saying it's big because the overall pain that it has, it's a crime of the disappointment he's done for African people, man. Because he would have been, anybody else doing this foolishness he would have done would have been assaulted by people so long ago and so virulently, he would have never been able to get this far with it. But so many of us have invested our lives and hopes and potentials and futures in Minister Farrakhan that some people feel like they're gone too far to go back, and they don't even know where they're going to go if they went anywhere. And that's one of the biggest crimes he's committed, to actually have everybody invest in you. If he'd have fallen, we wouldn't have been upset. If he'd have made mistakes, we wouldn't have been upset. But to sell us out, dang. For money, man, more than the love of your race, you can have as much money as you want because we love you. We done gave you our money. But you telling me that the idea of some dollars here and some fame and fortune and love from your enemy means more than the whole race? Well, I got something for them. And I want y'all to go with this, and I'm going to go to my phone line. And I'm hoping y'all going to walk with me on this one. But if you're not, that's all right. I walked alone before. I'll walk alone again. I know I said a lot of things. He had 15 counts. I think he's guilty on every single one of them and a whole bunch more. But I will say this. He did some good things in the beginning, and I've watched him. I've studied this man for a long time, and I've seen what he's been doing for a long time. And I realize now that he has earned the right to be remembered. So I don't want us to not remember the man. We got to remember him. We got to be remembered. And, you know, some people saying, oh, he's a racial traitor. He is a racial traitor. One of the worst. He's the worst race traitor during my lifetime, according to my standard of race treason. He's the worst one I've ever seen. But doing anything physical to him would be foolish, because then he would be a martyr. He would be remembered well. So I don't want anybody to even consider nothing like that. Don't even consider nothing like that. That would make him a hero, because they say he died for his race. No. I want him to live through this. We're not going to do anything like that. We're not getting into no fights with each other and physical altercations and more death and bloodshed, internal warfare with the race. No. I know what we're going to do. We're going to respect his right to be remembered, because I watch him, and he wants to be remembered in time and go down in history as some great person. Well, you know, Set went down in history when he lost the war to Asar. When he went down as the evil one, you know. So, but he's still eternal. I think that Minister Farrakhan deserves a place. We just got to pick the place. And this is my suggestion. At this time, you know, we have a term called Uncle Tom. For somebody, you know, Uncle Tom, that's a term that we use a lot. And War on the Horizon, we created a term called Mobutu, because Mobutu was a vicious race traitor that killed Lumumba. He helped overthrow the Congo and prevent the African liberation, the African world liberation from occurring. Freedom and true self-determination of the African continent. I want y'all to work with me on this one. We have an Uncle Tom, we have the Mobutu, and now we have a third one. The crackers will call it Benedict Arnold. Who was Benedict Arnold? I don't know, some cracker named Benedict Arnold. And he was a traitor, and he was such a terrible traitor that they started calling people who was traitors like that Benedict Arnolds. I don't want us to wait. While he's perfectly alive and able to hear it in the culture, from this point forward, anybody who starts on our side and then turns on us is a Farrakhan. I want y'all to listen to me. Even on this station, I just want the standard. I want to just start doing it over and over. Just, yeah, man, we can't be a Farrakhan, you know. Meaning you can't start talking about race war and start talking about helping your race and going in one direction and then totally sell your race out like a race trader, like a race trading Uncle Tom. That's called a Farrakhan. In fact, you can use the terms interchangeably. Man, he's just a Farrakhan. What you mean? Just an Uncle Tom. He old Uncle Tom Farrakhan. That's who he is from now on. So that as he's descending into his grave, waiting to be remembered by his people, the way he'll be remembered is the race trader that he is. And this is what I want you to do. I don't want no physical altercations from it. You heard the 15 counts. We're going to send the program out. We'll put it up there. You know some of the counts. You got your own counts. When one of the brothers or sisters of the Nation of Islam, don't you use Farrakhan name like that. Don't get in no fight with them. Say, no, brother, that's just our terminology. I'm not fighting. I know you want to fight me because I'm black. I know that's what you've been taught by your teacher. But we taught not to fight with other black people. We're supposed to fight with the devil. But I know the devil's your brother now. But now I'm not going to fight with you, brother, sister. I want you to back out of the physical fight. But don't you dare give ground on the farrakhan. That's just what I call them. If somebody act like I just call them a farrakhan. Don't you let them move you off your position, but be perfectly unwilling to engage them. You can engage them in dialogue and say, well, look, that's just a term I use. Brother Irritated Genie said it was a good term. I kind of felt the same way. Or you don't even got to mention me. You can say, no, this is a term we use in the hood. We call him a farrakhan. Dude say he on your team starting off one way. Next thing you know, he turning, going back the other way, trying to sell you out down the river and destroy you. We call him a farrakhan. That's how we ain't necessarily talking about Farrakhan, Minister Farrakhan. We just say that's what we call him, a farrakhan. You know, what you going to do? You can't tell me what to say and what not to say. You know, don't go up in the mosque doing that. I wouldn't suggest that. But, I mean, you got to stand your ground on the street. We got to be men again, brothers. And my sisters, I ain't even got to worry about it. I know the sisters going to be on board. I know y'all are sick of this foolishness. But, brothers, we got to start manning up. We got to start machoing ourselves up because we letting people just tear us down and they're not getting consequences. And this is going to be a very, very righteous consequence, particularly to a black male who wants nothing more than to be remembered. I want him to go into his grave, deep into his grave, when he's making that transition, knowing that his name is going down in history as synonymous with race traitor. I'm gonna stop right there and I'm gonna go to my lines because I feel good right now. I feel like Amin is in the room right now. I feel like I'm not a punk. I'm being a man tonight. We done let this guy get away with this for way too long, man. We done played games with it. We done talked around it. We've been nice about it. We had some Nation of Islam people on our station and stuff. At this point, I really don't care how nobody feels about it. If all of y'all tell me I'm crazy as I can be, from now on, my race trade is called Farrakhan. And I already know, I'm being condescending because I already know I can feel your spirit. Some of y'all like that. So let me go to my first call. And I'm not cheating. This is the first call. Don't get mad at me. Detroit?
Peace, how you doing?
Listen to that laugh. Oh, boy.
Nah, I ain't got that much for you. Where you want me to start, with Farrakhan or with the black man thing?
Start with the black man thing and with the Farrakhan thing.
All right. Black men. Okay, so I've been on vacation for a little over a month.
I'm sorry, real quick. Black males. I'm not. We ain't getting no passes tonight. Until we start acting like men, we can't get the black men. Black males.
I agree. I've been on vacation for a little over a month now. I was coming back home today, and I got a little shopping habit, so I came back with a little bit more than I left with. So I had this extra bag, and I was gonna go and try to put it in the overhead compartment or whatever. It was a little heavy, so there was a brother who I was about to sit with, and I was like, brother, could you help me with this bag? Would you mind? Brother didn't even pay attention to me. He acted like I wasn't even there, like he didn't even see me. So I was like, okay. I looked around. It was an African brother sitting behind me. I said, brother, would you mind helping me with this bag right quick? He get up and walk around me. Wouldn't nobody help me with my bag. Finally, this young brother, who a lot of people would have been afraid of because he looked kind of, he's a big brother, wearing hip-hop clothing or whatever. Nicest brother you ever want to meet. Finally came up, went out of his way, and put my bag up. But I couldn't pay these other brothers to help me. What kind of stuff is that? I mean, I'm walking down the street. I try to, bring a little sunshine to people's day or whatever. So I try to speak to people when I see them. So I'm walking down the street, see a brother. Peace, King, how you doing today? Won't even look me in the eye. Just like, yeah, what's up? Head down. What kind of brothers can't even look at women anymore? Like, I mean, I know I'm getting old. I ain't that old.
You know what?
I ain't scaring brothers off.
Wait a minute, man. God, this is creeping me out. I'm not exaggerating. It was just yesterday a brother told me he was talking to his sister, a gorgeous sister. She goes to Howard University Medical School. He said he was talking to the sister, and he was like, oh, I know these guys give you heck up here. She said, heck no. Half these dudes up here is gay. None of them will look me in my face. If there's not a man on the campus, Holly, that will look her in her face and speak to her.
They don't. I don't understand it. I got in the habit of making sure that I speak to black men because I've noticed a lot of women, especially a certain kind of brother, they kind of act fearful. They're afraid to talk. And I know that's got to be hard on brothers to experience that all the time. So I go out of my way to talk to brothers. And, like, for the last year and a half, I don't get nothing half the time. I mean, it used to be like they would take that almost like a come on, and I have to be like, nah, brother, I'm married. I'm just, speaking, being polite or whatever. Now, it ain't none of that because sometimes they don't speak at all. Sometimes they just walk right by. Sometimes they'd be like a quick what up, but no eye contact, no nothing. And these are like the younger brothers, like they should be in their prime, like trying to holler at anything that moves.
Oh man, I don't even. Oh man, when like in my job, man, these dudes be coming in. I'm talking about the non-fag dudes. I'm not even talking about the fags. These dudes be so weak and their voices be so like effeminized. It's like an unspoken rule that you got to be weak in order to survive and almost gay to survive in this society. Man, the black male just completely disappeared. God.
It's horrible. And like I think I was telling you the other day, that thing in Southeast, that don't surprise me because it's been a couple times I've called in and told you about these Asians. I've seen videos of black women going to Asian stores, and I don't know if they stole or if they was just accused of it, but I've seen these Asians try to restrain these sisters and actually end up ripping their clothes off where you could see breasts, you could see genitalia, you could see their behinds, and it'd be 8 brothers, 10 brothers just sitting there watching and filming on their cell phone. The only people trying to help might be like a girlfriend or something that they have that's there with them. But it'd be like 2 or 3 Asians and all these brothers, and they won't step in and do anything. They'd just be standing there talking about, oh, that's messed up. Never would I think if I'm walking down the street and something happens that I can depend on 90% of black men to do anything. More than likely, I would be able to depend on some kind of devil driving by because they're interested in black women, so they'd step in and try to be hero just to have that front. It would be more likely that a devil would step in and help me versus my black brother who I'm out here trying to fight for. It's demoralizing.
Okay, you want to make any comment about your favorite guy?
Well, number one, we can't let them get off that easy and talk about Wallace uniting the Nation of Islam with Jim Jones because Farrakhan at that time was still the national representative. He was the spokesman. So anything that Wallace did, he co-signed with, and it was really because Wallace couldn't talk. People follow Farrakhan. They wouldn't have gone over there more than likely had it not been for his loud mouth pointing them in that direction. So, this ain't the first time he's been a race traitor. This is at least the second time. He definitely had something to do with that Jim Jones thing. That little straight little comb over that you talk about, that's not natural. That's a conk because if you look at his pictures prior to 1970, maybe even the 80s, sometime in the late 70s, early 80s when he got his conks. Before then, he had an afro. Your hair don't just lean over and lay down straight on its own just magically one day. So that's 100% a perm. He's definitely a light-skinned supremacist. He definitely teaches them to hate themselves. That's why they always threatening black people but won't do a daggone thing to the cracker. He's just egregious. I remember, talking about how he's ruined people's lives, the money that people would donate. I remember sitting in meetings and watching sisters, whose babies were sleeping on the floor trying to figure out should they give their Savior's Day gift or should they buy their babies the beds that they need and then deciding to go on and give the Savior's Day gift like he need their money. I mean, it's ridiculous. He's ruined lives. I mean, people have lost their minds, ended up in insane asylums. I mean, people committed suicide. It's been so crazy, the history of the Nation of Islam since 1975, and he's been right in the middle of it. He don't get no pass.
So, from this point forward, is a race traitor a Farrakhan?
Oh, 100%.
All right. Well, we got your vote. We appreciate you. We love you, and we definitely see you on the battlefield.
Hey, can I tell him about my show tomorrow, right quick?
Oh, That's right. You on tomorrow. Perfect. Yes.
Yep, showtime tomorrow. I'm going to have back one of our favorite repeat guests, Divine is Earth, who is a herbalist and holistic health practitioner. We're going to be talking about my new book, Conscious Entertaining, because I know it's being overshadowed by God's Gift a little bit. People don't know much about it. So we're going to talk about the book. We're going to talk about how to entertain, and we're going to talk about how your food is your medicine tomorrow.
Fantastic. And if you can remember, please let everybody know about Wednesday's program. We got a brand new program on Wednesday night, brothers and sisters. Brother General Will Jeans from Haiti, and they right down in Atlanta, brother from Haiti, and they have their show 7 to 9 p.m. on Wednesday nights. You want to check it out and listen to it. Live free or die.
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, we'll see you on the battlefield, sis.
All right.
4938, you live on War on the Horizon. 4938, going once, going twice. All right. 0125, you live on War on the Horizon. 0125, going once, going twice. All right. 3813, you live on War on the Horizon.
Hello?
Yes. How you doing, sister?
I'm sorry. I didn't know that it was going to cue me in.
If you want to listen, you can. If you have a comment, you can make one. You don't have to.
No, I actually did want to make a comment. I just didn't know how. I thought I had to press something in order for it to come back around. But I was listening to the show, and, I've been following you for a couple of years now, as far as your videos, but I've been studying on my own and dealing with, black oppression now for over 20 years, ever since I kind of first went to college. That's when my journey kind of started. And I guess I got a lot to say because, when you first came on the show, you were like, us men have became bitches. I'm trying to clean it up because I'm not trying to male hate. And I know you weren't male hating either. You were kind of stating the fact. But I'm going to say it very cautiously as to not go there without, you know what I'm saying?
Look, don't say it cautiously. Just say it tonight. We need to hear it. Black men need, whatever we are right now, we need to hear it. Just say what you got to say.
Well, I'll put it like this. Usually when I say things, a lot of times it's taken as male hate. But let me just be, I'm 40 years old. I'm going to try to kind of be up front.
Sister, one thing. I just want to make sure you don't use the N-word. That's it.
Okay, I'm not.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. I would say that, I'm 40 now. And I mean, when I look at the black male, I mean, first of all, for a lot of black women, we don't even have anything to compare you to. You know what I'm saying? So right off the bat, we're trying to uphold a man image without a man to even compare that man to, number one. And then when you realize, at whatever age you come into consciousness, you sit back and you realize that the black man don't love you, they don't respect you, they don't protect you, they don't help protect your children. I mean, it puts you in such a defensive mode. I mean, I could almost say I'm angry at the black man, but then I got enough sense to know that I'm not even a black woman without you. So, I mean, I've sat back and to me it's almost like I be pleading for you to be what you're supposed to be, what you're destined to be. But I mean, I sit back and I acknowledge that black women have failed the black man just as much as the black man has failed the black woman. But sometimes I feel like you throw a lot of more accountability on the black woman than you put on yourselves. First of all, like, I can acknowledge that if I walk around looking like a hoe, that maybe I'm going to get treated like a hoe, right? Mm-hmm. But then I also have sense, being as educated as I am, to know that the only reason why I walk around looking like a hoe is to attract you. Matter of fact, this evening I was listening to your video, The State of the Black Woman, and then from there I was listening to something that somebody posted about the black woman and the white woman, and one black man supposedly defended black women. But then after reading it, to some women it was like, yeah, black power. But then I thought about it, and I said, what kind of black power is this bull? Because the white woman has never been a competitor to the black female. And I was like, you're doing the black woman a grave injustice by even trying to compare the black woman to the white woman, because there's no comparison. Matter of fact, when I made a comment, it's almost like comparing a puppy to a lion, or a dog to a cat. It's nothing equal about it. The white woman has never been in any comparison to the black woman. So, you know what I'm saying? And I'm kind of rambling now, but back to the black man. I'm at a point where I would do anything to repair anybody that doesn't acknowledge that there is such a division between the black man and the black woman is really lying and doing an injustice to themselves. I mean, I done sat back and observed, even within married couples, the division. The children, the division, the role models for the children, everything is so divided. If you got this man that loves this half-naked woman, the half-naked woman training it to the kids, and vice versa on down the line. I mean, we are literally destroying generation after generation based on our ignorance. And not just based on our ignorance, but based on our defiance. At this point, I don't care about what the white man did, because the white man did it so long ago. Now it's our problem. It's our ignorance that we keep, what's the word? Damn, Higgins said it a long time ago, that we keep perpetuating. That's the word. It don't matter that it happened years ago when we're still to this day perpetuating that ignorance over and over and over again.
And let me just throw this in there, and then I'm going to ask you to make a farrakhan, what your position is on that, and then I'm going to definitely let you go on. I would just say one thing. It's a little bit tempting to say that whites did something a long time ago, but the reality of it is that it's not just when you look outside and you see a black boy wearing skinny jeans and pink socks and shoes. He didn't make those during slavery. He made the European that designed those shoes and those pants for that young black male lives today. So I'm just saying that to say they have not stopped doing anything to us. And so you are 100% correct in the fact that it's our responsibility to fix the problems, but there's no way we should ever give any room to forget what the whites have done, because that's only a pretext for what they're doing today. We are perpetually at war with this white race. And that's the reason our relationships are in the condition they are in now, because when we get comfortable and stop fighting, the whites are making their war better, stronger, and faster to destroy our community. So I did want to make that just in reference to you saying that they did it a long time ago. They're doing things today that are just as devastating to our people, if not more, than some of the things that they did during slavery.
And I would agree. You're correct. I retract that statement.
Yes, ma'am. But I understand your feeling. In other words, let's stop complaining about what the whites are doing and let's do something about it so that we don't stay in this condition. I understand the spirit that you said it in.
Yeah.
What is your position on Minister Farrakhan?
You know, me listening to that this evening was my first time hearing some of that. First, you know, I'm not really qualified to speak on it, but I can say this. You know, when I think of the Nation of Islam, I mean, I give it credit where credit is due. Matter of fact, I went to church with my mother, just to put it out there, and her pastor of her church was basically talking about the Nation of Islam, and you kind of know how the church comes against Islam. And right off the bat, I was almost ready to just walk up out of there doing her sermon, because I was like, you could sit back and talk about the nation all day long, but there's no other organization that I can think of that takes a black man off the street or a thug off the street and completely can instill in him enough principle that it can change him in the manner that the NOI has. That's just my interpretation. I might be wrong, but that's how I feel about it. But as far as what you said about Farrakhan, I think that you know, I used to go to the mosque, and I used to be, you know, going to the NOI. And one of the things that that's prevalent in any organization, and I know you'll probably understand when I say this because it's kind of general knowledge. A group is only as strong as its leader. You've heard something like that. And, I mean, I would almost go to say that with Elijah Muhammad and the example that Malcolm picked up on, how he was sleeping with all the women making babies. And, I mean, I feel the same way about Farrakhan. You know, I know that we cannot put a person on a pedestal, but you do have to hold them accountable. And I agree that that's what you're doing. You're holding him accountable. And but I also acknowledge that you can't put them on a pedestal. You just got to make them acknowledge and make them accountable.
All right.
And the truth, well, I'll put it like this, demand them to be accountable, because you can't make nobody accountable. They have to take accountability for themselves.
Well, let me do this, if you don't mind, because I got a couple of people who are in a conference and they want to get on because they got to get off, but we definitely appreciate you calling, and been a very valuable contribution.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, sister. That was a very, very good call. I appreciate her honesty and directness. Let me go right here to the line. Are you there with us on One Horizon?
A BB for Hodier, African.
A BB for Hodier. Grab heaters with no delay.
Yes, sir. This is Brother DJ calling in, checking in with you. Hey, I got a couple things. I first want to announce that Baba Nwalamu Baruti and his complement, Mama Ya Baruti, are right in the midst of a fundraising campaign for their school, Akabin Institute.
Yes, sir.
The remainder of this month and all next month, we will be going forward with a campaign to raise funds for the African-centered private school that they own and have been owning now for over 12 years. So we're right in the midst of that, and would like to get all the listeners, Warn the Horizon, those who call in and those who listen via internet, to have an opportunity to participate in raising funds to donate to the school. All funds raised go entirely to the school, and this campaign will actually culminate on June 1st with a concert and spoken word event at Morris Brown Auditorium here in Atlanta. But in the interim, we're going to be raising funds for the school. Brother Irritated Genie has allowed us to call into the various programs and ask that the listeners who support War on the Horizon and Baba Baruti commit however much you feel like you can afford and campaign contributions to the school. So I just wanted to put that out there. I'll be announcing it as well on my program tomorrow, and I'll contact Lady Shabazz so she can plug it on her program as well. Did you want to respond to that, brother, before I go to my next point?
Well, yeah, we just, we know everybody out there that listens, the BB for Hodier show. You've been getting the books and the DVDs and all the great work that Baba Baruti, the premier scholar of the 21st century, and Mama Ya, that they've been putting out for the race. So we want you to support them and help them get that school thriving, because let's face it, it's getting to the point where none of us want to send our children to, particularly for what we talk about today, they go there and learn how to be fags. Children with two moms and two dads or whatever. So let's support them so that we'll have schools to send our children to where we know what they'll be learning.
Right. It is a true warrior institution. And Baba Baruti and Mama Ya, they operate from the premise that if you take those students who attend that school and drop them off on an island together and go back in 20 years, you will find a nation of African people. That's the premise by which they operate in terms of running the school and educating the students. And so we have to support that. We have to support independent African institution, truly independent African institution. Baba Baruti tells us that he has not received one dime of funding from the federal government and never will. So what that means is that it's on us, the community, to do what's necessary to make sure that this fine institution for African children continues to do its job.
Absolutely.
And, yes, sir. And I want to respond to what Lady Shabazz said in regards to her flight. That lets me know that there's tremendous work that needs to be done in our community in terms of making black men, or taking black males and turning them into strong black men. It's highly disrespectful that sister was not able to get the help that she needed with the bag, but that's indicative of the type of society that we live in today, unfortunately. I take a slightly different approach in analyzing the breakdown of our communities, and I realize, Brother Genie, that we're not going to be successful in making black men until the sisters are able to put together a strong sisterhood. And I tell you why. I was riding through Decatur last week, and the weather down here in Atlanta is warming up. So the sisters, some of the sisters, is like the hotter it gets, the more clothes come off. And so I was driving through Decatur, and I saw several sisters out, walking on the sidewalk with the strollers, and some of them had on very short shorts, basically booty shorts, and halter tops, real skimpy type of clothing. And several of these sisters were holding the hands of little black boys, 3, 4, 5 years old. Okay, and I was saying to myself when I saw it, because I saw it like 3 or 4 times, and I said to myself, now, what chance does this little brother have at being raised properly when his mother is obviously so attention-starved herself? Will she ever be able to dedicate or give this young warrior the proper attention that he needs in order to develop the way that he's supposed to? And unfortunately, the answer is no. And so when a young brother is forced to walk with his mother, who's almost naked, down the street, that sends a very bad signal to this child.
And let me just... I definitely hear what you're saying, but this is like for lack of a better term, this is a bashing male night. So what you're saying is absolutely true, but that will be on a program that we will have we having a program this Saturday, as a matter of fact, brothers and sisters. We having a roundtable, and what we talking about this Saturday is, are black women crazy or have I lost my mind? So that's what we'll be doing this Saturday from 7 to 9. But right now, I really want to focus in on the lack of black manhood, because what you're saying is true, but at the end of the day, I looked at this thing on this train. It wasn't no little dudes on there. These were grown males, and no matter what they've been through, they should have put a foot in this white boy's behind And at the end of the day, I'm talking about males out here now ain't doing what we supposed to be doing. And I want to bash black males. I don't want no black male to leave this phone with the idea that he don't have to get up off his behind and start being a man and stop letting these Negroes and these crackers and these fags run our community.
Well, I definitely respect that, brother, and I'll save the rest of my comment for the next program.
Yes,
Appreciate
sir.
you, brother. All right,
Appreciate
hotel.
Hotel. My brother Body Shots in the house.
BB Fodier.
BB Fodier.
It's been a long time coming. Man, whew, it feels so good. And the ancestors are smiling down on the righteous brothers and sisters that's going to hold the line. Because we didn't draw the lines of demarcation. And obviously Farrakhan doesn't want to go down on the right side of history. He's made his choice. So we're going to hold him to it. It's a disgrace. It was. I remember when I first came into my consciousness, one of the first videos I'd seen, because I grew up in a Christian background, so I had nothing to do with the nation. Knew nothing about the papers. Never had a bean pie in my life. And I saw his lecture on the Willie Lynch syndrome. And he was talking about the dynamics of black male and female relationships. It was so powerful. I was immediately captivated. And I remember I used to come home from work, and the first thing I would do is log onto the computer and start playing anything Farrakhan. It didn't matter what he was talking about. And spaceships, getting caught up on spaceships the size of 4 football fields, and having conversations with Xenu and whatnot. And so that's really how I came into my consciousness or whatever. So, yeah, it's a huge letdown on his part. But when I started to study the nation, I began to see what black manhood is really about, and infrastructure and institution and nation building. It's a shame to see him de-radicalize the nation in an attempt to increase their market base, to make the nation or take what the messenger built and try to water it down to the point where it's acceptable by the mainstream. And it's really unfortunate that his own greed has destroyed him, because he wants to be remembered as the epitome of black manhood and black leadership. And so he's now, I mean, the lecture where he lambasted, or tried to, Khaled, the Doc, and Malcolm, if you look at the backdrop, he's speaking at a Christian prayer breakfast. So he's all over the place in a feeble attempt to self-aggrandize himself and make himself a staple in the black community. So it's real crazy that he watered down the nation to do this. If I could just break down the psychological profile of a Farrakhan, because he got me with this, and he got a lot of our people with this. I just want to talk about 3 points to what makes Farrakhan Farrakhan. Okay? He employs a rhetorical strategy. Everybody knows. Hey, you talk to anybody that say Farrakhan, he can talk. He's slick. That hair slick, but that gift of gab is slicker. He employs rhetorical strategy. All right? Making himself the outsider. And he does this, and he uses the white power structure in the media to say that he's being persecuted for telling the truth. Oh, I'm just telling the truth. And he takes that little finger and he nudges his glasses back up to the top of his nose. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Then when we hear him speaking the truth, and then we see the cracker get up there and ridicule him, we're drawn to that because we feel emboldened, like, oh, this my brother. He's telling the truth. This Farrakhan, I'm with him. right? So then we feel emboldened by it. We feel good by the fact that he's being persecuted by who we view as our enemies, right? Step 2. The more and more he's detested and he's ridiculed in the white media, the more credibility he gains. He starts to gain street cred. He just starts just yapping off and just going in, and he's gaining more and more credibility. The more and more he's vilified, we feel more and more and more in tune with Farrakhan. Here's the part that we got to understand, because this is where we have to break. This is where we have to leave Farrakhan in his mess. We go to go right off the cliff with him. Now that his leadership or his role as a black leader is firm in it. He has a firm foundation, right? Now he can do anything he wants to do because he has us so emotionally sold into this idea or the brand of Farrakhan that anytime a righteous leader, maybe one like Khaled, coming in the spirit of Khaled, maybe somebody that was blind but could see 20/20 like Dr. John Henry Clark, and other strong warriors like Dale Jones, the minute they come on the scene to correct and reprimand somebody like Farrakhan, now they're considered to be the race traitor, the turncoat, the hired gun. It is so perfect the way he's set up right now, because anybody that's coming to tell the truth, because he told the truth earlier, now nobody else can get in. Nobody else can get the ear of our people. Everybody else is going to be marginalized. And anybody that says anything opposing Farrakhan, now we're looked at as if we are not speaking for the will of our people, or if we're not committed racemen and women.
Bro, that's so deep and such a perfect analysis. I'm sitting here thinking about it, and that's really like a synopsis of, and I don't know if he planned this, so I can't say it was a plan. I'll say it's a synopsis of what has occurred during the Farrakhan era, if you will. That, wow, okay, so here's my question. What is the lesson that we learn from this, and how do we avoid having another Farrakhan of our race?
Man.
If you don't have the answer, that's okay.
Well, what comes to mind, recently studying Shaka Zulu and the way that he had, or the government was set up by the Zulus, is that Shaka Zulu, he was the head, the titular head of the Zulus, but he always had to consult he always had to get a referendum or a consensus from his council, And one particular time, I was just studying. One particular time, he made decisions, just rash decisions, and the council didn't call him to then pull him to the carpet. And after he did it, he stopped and said, and he got very upset with his council because he said, it's your job to check me. I don't know everything. Yes, I'm a leader. Yeah, I'm probably like the baddest military scientist to ever walk the planet, but I don't know everything. So I think that there has to be checks and balances to black leadership.
You know, Kush the Black Unified said something a long time ago, and it's one of the deepest things, man. I think it goes to what you're saying. I mean, it doesn't go exactly to what you're saying, but I think it complements what you're saying. He said leadership has term limits. And he didn't say that it was a particular number of years. What he was saying is, so for some people, maybe they can lead until they're gone because maybe they have it like that. But then other people get to a point where they're no longer effective, whether it be they're going the wrong direction or they're just not effective or they don't have the youth or whatever it is. And we have to be able to begin to set term limits on leadership in order for us to be effective as a race of people. And I think it kind of goes to what you're saying. In order to set term limits, there have to be people who can correct mid-course correction. And if the person doesn't mid-course correct, there has to be a way to say, okay, thank you for your services. But you are no longer in this position. Now we have somebody else that we want to give a shot.
Yeah, bro. I'm of the mind right now that if he started out as Farrakhan, then it would be cool that he's Farrakhan now. But he started out as a committed race man, you know, so he got everybody on the hype, and now that's not what he is. So he's a hypocrite.
Mm.
And I think the term limits, though, we have to become more we have to not be afraid of power as even followers, because I think he can get away with what he gets away with because we like to live vicariously through our culture personalities. Whereas if we weren't afraid of power, presidents get impeached, CEOs get sat down, board of directors get sat down.
Mm.
But that's when you're operating from a paradigm where you believe you have power.
So from a non-religious paradigm, when you're looking at it as this person is not God, this is the exalted leader that you picked because you believe in them. And as long as they're marching forward, even if they make mistakes or you're not sure of the direction, as long as they're believing in what you believe in and trying to do the right thing, that's fine. But when you're powerful and you believe yourself to be right, they're not totally in the lead. You choose to follow them. They're not a God figure where you worship them. You believe that they can get us to where we need to go. And as long as they're demonstrating that, then you can keep where they don't. But then you have the power to also say, you've been going in the wrong direction for too long now. This is causing problems. We don't like where you're heading. We need another person in that position.
Right.
And you saying you have to feel powerful and like you have the rights and responsibility to do that in order to make a decision like that.
Exactly. Like I was in a debate with some FOI the other day, and I kept saying how much I admired the messenger, and they kept saying, "Well, you can't love the messenger and not love Farrakhan. That's like saying you love God but you don't love Jesus." I was like, "What the heck are you talking about? Farrakhan is Farrakhan, Jesus is Jesus. Two different things. That's your problem." And I don't know the makeup or the structure and organization of the nation, but I'm pretty sure that there's probably a set of bylaws and constitutions that says that somebody can be either sat down or receive an honorable discharge for their coonery and buffoonery.
Mm. I don't know the answer to that, but I think that was some good dialogue. We got some other people on the line, and we almost at the 9 o'clock hour, so I'm gonna make sure I get everybody on. But that was very valuable. So I know you already answered it, but since that was excellent dialogue, as a matter of fact. But so to the idea that from this point forward, a race trader, the term we use, a colloquialism in the street, just something that we use on a regular basis. Yeah, man, don't be no Farrakhan. Nah, he tried to Farrakhan me, man. He told me he was with me, then he gonna go snitch on me. Old Farrakhan. Are you with that?
Oh yeah, stamp that.
All right, stamp of approval from Body Shots. I feel like we in the house to win. All right, brother. Well, we appreciate you. We love you. We see you on the battlefield.
B48.
BB48. 0942. You live on Warner Horizon. 0942. Going once, going twice. 2237, you live on Warner Horizon.
Just listening.
All right, thank you for listening, sister. 2874, you live on Warner Horizon. 2874, going once, going twice. All right, just listening. All right, let me come in here with the champion. Ding, 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 ding. Brothers and sisters, I want to bring the champion online with him, my brother Jamo. How you doing, warrior?
Hey, we doing well out here, Genie, man. How y'all doing out there in D.C.?
Hey, man, we doing what we do. You know how it is.
Already, man. The war is ongoing in the stage 4.
Yes, sir.
About the topic tonight, this is a very needed topic. I wish that more of the sisters who are, just listening, please make a comment in providing your perspective of the order that's needed with our sisters, because we do all this work so that we can restore y'all. And y'all got to know that you have a voice, not just because it's a phone forum, but you have a voice. We're doing this for y'all body and y'all voice, you know. So y'all got to say something. I mean, me personally, I feel that it's disgusting what the Peckerwood been able to make of us, because none of us see anything to fight for. You know, you talk to brothers or attempt to talk to them, and to get an understanding about something that's, you know, maybe minute, not even going too far below the surface. And if you say those certain trigger words in which they got a PC governor in their head about, they eyes start looking left and right like a robot that can't compute. You know what I'm saying? And these are just merely the words, let alone putting forth something together to get the action going. You know, it's like what I don't know. I don't like believing that I'm seeing reality when I see a brother, older, that's about, you know, 57, 59, sagging his pants the same way that one of the youngsters on MTV do. You know, to me, that just speaks so much volume, because it's like, what do you think of yourself? Why do you feel you have to settle to that level to even feel some semblance of belonging or worth or whatever it is? It's just completely foreign to me. And I mean, the story that Lady Shabazz had about brothers not assisting her with her baggage. My wife, from time to time, she'll come and telling me something that, you know, opportunity for a brother to open the door for, knowing she got, you know, a arms full of things, and they won't do it. They'll just look. But, you know, Peckerwood, be it man or female, they come through there. Hey, they get the cheese, they get the dough. You know, I don't know. It's like I said, it's disgusting where they got us. I mean, for us to change it, I don't know, man. I feel that it's time for us to start getting arrogant with these principles, because they have to see that energy in a very, very large amount of sight or something. You know, they have to see that. They have to see that energy. We have to call out our own brothers and sisters, just like we call out our farrakhan, so that they don't become farrakhans. You know, I mean, they don't really. I mean, the thing is, they inadvertently fight, you know, for the citizens, because they still sleep. And you know, when you try to just speak to them on a level of which you feel that they're offering the subject matter about, you still lose them. It's like, I'm going too deep with your subject for you that you bringing up for me. Come on now, wait a minute. You know, I don't know. I don't really know how many of us there are out here who really are, you know, critical thinking people who wish to do for ourselves, just in the basic, let alone getting with an organization and, you know, getting something started, but just with the basic of maintaining just your immediate family, you know.
And let me ask you this: what's your position on the? We wrapping up soon, so I just want to get this last thing. What's your position on the farrakhan? That as a colloquialism, as standard language in the hood, in our communities, and just in general black dialect, that he becomes synonymous. When we say, yeah, man, I ain't gonna be no farrakhan, tell you I'm gonna do this and not do that. How do you like that as a punishment? It really a long-term, almost eternal punishment for the race treason that he's committed against our people.
I think it's quite fitting. Especially yeah, you're in your 40s, so you understand maybe like the first time you heard maybe a music genre that was older than jazz, that Peckerwood had grasped onto, that you ain't know that our people had, you know, been that deep into it to the way they created it. We're seeing that happen with hip hop now, and you know, our youth, they getting into it and able to see these Peckerwoods all involved with it, thinking that, yo, they been here the whole time, when they ain't. It's really just still ours. And to be able to see that get switched over, it's like farrakhan. It's like you would never think you would ever in life hear this dude going the other way, aligning himself with the devil. It's almost surreal. And for you to catch it like that and to not let it go, it's like, okay, you know what? Like Body Shot said, stamp it. Let him carry that until the end of his death, and that'll make his currently aligning perceptions to be all the more diseased. It's not going to have all the flair all the good flair that it would have in his earlier stage. You know, it's kind of like the way I feel George Bush should have not been assassinated, but choked on the jelly bean. You know what I'm saying? If he get assassinated, he get in the books and he get all this flair and everything. He was this president, but if he choke on the jelly bean, they ain't gonna throw that in there, you know.
That's right. He ain't nobody. So now Farrakhan, he can live and go to sleep at night, hearing people in the street, walking down the street, saying, "Man, don't be no Farrakhan children on the basketball court. You said you gonna come out here, man. You acting like a little Farrakhan, man. You little snitch." And Yeah.
Let it drive him to suicide. You know what I'm saying? Let him push him to that part to where he do us a favor. You know.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, brother, we definitely appreciate you, champion, and we'll definitely keep seeing you. Take care of the queen, and we'll definitely see you on the battlefield.
Always, y'all be easy, man. Take care of yourself.
Yes, sir. That's the champion, brothers and sisters. Last week's champion in the house. 0031, you live on Warner Horizon. 0031.
Hotep, brother.
Yes, sir. Hotep, my brother.
How you doing today, Brother Genie?
Fantastic. How about yourself?
Outstanding. Brother Genie, have you ever heard the term playing possum to catch crow?
Yes.
Well, I'm not going to excuse the minister because I really don't know. I got on late with the call, but I think it's safe to say that out of every 10 people that might call this program, 9.5 might have been influenced by his message and what he brought to the table. We don't know that brother's life. And again, I'm not taking up for him, but we don't know that brother's life. We don't know.
I'm gonna let you finish. You know, I'm not gonna cut you off, but you can't say that you're not taking up for him because you are taking up for him.
Okay, all right. We can go that way, but we don't know what's going on with that brother. Maybe he's getting soft in his old age. I don't know.
But this is what we do know, and you're going to get the last word, but I want to challenge these things.
Okay.
What we do know is that I got a little baby up here, and I got brothers and sisters who I'm trying to organize to save the lives of my people, and I know that he sees that there are faggots out in the street, and I know that he gets on in front of our people and tells our people that Tyler Perry, who is a transvestite who makes a living of putting dresses on in front of our people, I know he knows the damage because I've heard him do lectures about the images and what they do to our people. So it don't matter what's going on with him. I ain't worried about what's going on with him. I'm worried about what he's doing to us.
Right. I understand that. But
and let me say this, and then I promise I'm gonna let you speak. But I want to say this though, because I love all the callers, but I got to keep it real. I'm gonna just keep it real, but this ain't manhood.
Yes, sir. You're absolutely right.
Our people are getting killed. I'm talking about what you're doing. This ain't manhood, bro. Our people are getting murdered, and this guy has joined forces in doing it, and you see it, but you're doing the same thing all the rest of us have done, and I'm guilty of it too. We see the treason, but we remember the man that gave us life.
What I'm trying to get across to you, brother.
Yeah.
We see the treason. We see the treason. We see all of that. What are we going to do? You take what's good from an individual and leave the bad. I don't agree with any of the stances that dude is taking with these faggots. It's death to all of them. But I think.
Let me challenge you on something you just said. Now, now come on now. That's like saying, we trying to escape slavery, and somebody's gonna go snitch on us and turn us in, and you say, well, that person has helped us a lot. So ignore the fact that he about to go snitch. Ignore
No. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that.
But look, he's in our midst now as a race trader. So you're saying we're supposed to ignore that?
No.
So then, how do we deal with a race trader in our midst today that's selling our race out real time?
Ostracize him.
Okay.
We don't have nothing to do with that. We don't have nothing to do with that.
So we
don't have no love for that. I don't have no love for anything that he's doing in that part.
So let me ask you this, because this is what we decided. Maybe you probably didn't hear this part of the program. What we said is that because of his behavior, we don't believe in no physical violence with our people because it's not going to benefit us at this point in time.
Exactly.
But we say, how about this? We saying since he basically insinuated that Malcolm was a fag and Dr. Khaled was gay and then he's out here talking about Tyler Perry's a spiritual giant and he's integrating the nation with this Scientology and talking about crackers his brother, since he's committing basic pure open treason, what we're going to do, we said this is the punishment for his crime, because a crime should be punishable. Instead of physical death, his racial punishment, since he wants so much to be remembered, we're going to give him the remembrance. But he's going to be remembered with his name being synonymous with race trader. So you can say Uncle Tom, you can call somebody a Mobutu, or you can call him a farrakhan. And that's our punishment for him, that when we talking about a race trader, we're going to call him a farrakhan. Man, don't be no farrakhan saying you're going to do one thing and then turn on your people. Don't ever be a farrakhan.
Right.
Could you buy that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, we good.
But I'm saying we still have a job to do. We ain't worried about that dude no more. He served his purpose. He turned on us. Okay, he's no longer a part of the equation. Get him out of here. What are we gonna do now? What's our next step?
And well, I would say this. I agree with you, but we're doing our next step with like what we have here. And you tell me, because I don't want to put words in your mouth. You probably listen to a lot of different stuff out there and everything like that. In terms of serious dialogue for African people, in terms of organizing and understanding what the issues are that face our people, where would you rank One Horizon in terms of doing that as a?
We number one, brother.
Okay.
We number one. That is taking me to the next step of my consciousness or my evolution. I'm getting better. I'm striving for perfection every day. And if we got something that we can't use anymore, discard it. Just like as milk, the eggs go bad, the butter goes bad, discard it. Throw that trash away. We don't need it anymore.
And you know what? I think that's pretty much what we're doing. What we're saying is we're dealing with a caveat. Of course, we no longer saying he relevant. We're not going out here screaming and yelling, but we are saying this. It's not just that we're going to write him off, but we're going to go a step further. He committed treason. He's spitting on the legacy of some of the greatest men that ever walked this planet. And he's doing it right in front of our face. And we're going to, in addition to writing him off and moving forward, we're moving forward and we're punishing and penalizing him with a memory as his name being synonymous with the racial treason that he's committing. I think that's a reasonable compromise we can make. What you think?
That's reasonable, and really, that's not a compromise. That's just getting them off our plane.
Wow.
It's just getting them off our plane, getting them totally out of, where at one time you would pick something from a lecture or something that he said and come boldly against somebody. Now you just have to get that off the page. You have to arm yourself with more information, more knowledge, continue to listen to War on the Horizon and all its other programs, and just move. What's the next level? What's the next level? We could beat a dead horse. We could do all of that. But what's the next level now? What's going to keep like there was an issue down here in Augusta, Georgia about this little black boy that was beaten The dental records, he was beaten so bad that the dental records couldn't even identify him. What are we going to do about that? That's the point I'm at in my life. These people what all these other Negroes is doing, they farting in the wind because they shook, they scared. We got grown people, grown men out here acting like women and looking like girls. Let's done that. Let's get that out of our system because we are at war. And I think that the masses of our people don't have the stomach for what we have to do, and they're going to try to slide in after the beef. Let's just get that. Let's vet all of that out and keep moving, brother. Keep moving.
Man, you're saying something that's really resonating with me. Man, I
just like the thing I called you a few months ago about that situation that was going on down in Florida with the little gay pastor that they had in the church, and instead of the people in the church, he was a pedophile, and instead of the people in the church getting rid of him, what these crazy people did is stop their children from coming to the church. So,
are you with the Panthers?
No, sir.
Okay,
no,
so
sir.
That's
by proxy, but no, sir.
but that's a different because we had some brother Mikhail Muhammad that called, and they had a similar situation with a pedophile that came back to run a church.
Right.
Okay,
right.
So this
right.
is a different situation.
This was down in Pensacola.
Okay.
And we paid the brother a visit. We paid this dude a visit and made him an offer. And needless to say, he's no longer with the church.
Brother, that's what
we got to be at right now, Brother Genie. That's what we got to be at right now. All of this suffrage and all of this, people are just splintered off into this group and all into that thing. We really don't need to get along all the time, but we need the same stinking idea. And we have to move out on these orders. If you feel something as an African is something that's wrong because it's inherent in us, it's in our DNA, we know before words even come up how we should react to a situation. And if you're not reacting to that situation like a man, then you die in a slow death every day. And that's where we at. The people that's down here on the ground that's putting in this work, that's where we at right now. We're not taking any sides. It's our side now. It's our time now. These people is going to hell, and they taking as many of us as they can with them. It's time now to take a stand, root ourselves into our culture, and stand firm. Hold the line, like Brother Body Shot said. Hold the line. We're not tolerating any of this madness anymore, and that's where we have to be. And that's initially when I called in, I was saying, you know what? We don't have time to deal with this dude. That's like, yeah, we could deal with him, but I think there's more important, pressing issues that when I wake up a father of 5 and a husband, there's more pressing issues that I have to deal with than a turncoat. If we're going to deal with him, let's cut his head off and we keep it moving. That's it. We done them. We're done with them.
And let me say a few things. Just, and I think you'll be able to read between the lines. First thing, I need you to do this, brother. It's not a request. I need you to send us an email at liberation@waronthehorizon.com for what y'all did down there. I want you to go on the website. You just tell us whatever DVD or set that you want. We sending you one complimentary. That's that black love for going out there and handling that situation. So that's not an option. I need you to send it, liberation@waronthehorizon.com. We sending you something, whatever it is that you pick off the website. That's our way of being a brother for you doing this great work that you did with your brothers. As a matter of fact, tell us how many of them you need, because some of your brothers or whoever did it with you, they might want one too. So whatever for what you did, you tell us what you need so everybody can get some. We sending it to you. You can pass them out to the brothers. Whatever it is they need, it's on the house. That's one. Number two, it's very calculated. I'm 100% in agreement with you in terms of it would be better if we didn't even have to have this discussion. This is the calculation. And looking down the line in the direction that we're going, I understand what's going to happen. And one of the things that we're going to face is the fact that the idea that you can be paid and benefit from turning on the black race is so prevalent that we have to begin the process of changing it. You can't just do it right away because we don't have that kind of power. So we start the process of penalizing everybody that goes against us so that when we do run up in somewhere and do the things we have to do, no one will be inclined to share a name or identification or anything, because we're going to build in our people such a vicious disdain and hatred for race traders that more of us can do more of the things we want to do more often. Farrakhan just happens to be convenient, happens to be a race trader, happens to be where we can get our practice in and begin in this process.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, brother. So I want that email tonight. I want my people to call me and tell me we got it. Tell me all of the numbers of what you need, brother. And, brother, we need as many brothers like you as possible. Anything you need from us, you tell us, brother. And I mean this. If we can do it, we're going to support you in whatever you got to get done, because this is the only way we're going to free our race. You the kind of black men we need on the battlefield, soldier.
Yes, sir. Right there with you, brother.
All right, brother. Well, we love you, and we definitely appreciate you, and we'll see you on the battlefield.
Brother Genie.
Yes, sir.
You gotta love it.
Yes, sir. See, those are warriors there, brothers and sisters. That's how we do it. That's the brother K. Rhino say, that's how you do it. 5469, you live on the horizon. 5469, going once, going twice. All right, they just listening. 1469, you live on the horizon. 1469, going once, going twice. 0236, you live on the horizon.
Ma'at Hotep, brother man.
Ma'at Hotep, my sister.
I'm glad that the young bloods have picked up the baton. I'm going to talk about both manhood and Farrakhan. You know Queen Mother Moore, don't you?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, I found Queen Mother Moore in an Amsterdam nursing home, and I bear witness that the Nation of Islam came into the Amsterdam nursing home and brought her to the Million Man's March. And my question that I think that we have to ask ourselves, because there were millions of black men there, but none of them personally went to Queen Mother and asked her, where are you going back to? Because they delivered her back to the Amsterdam nursing home in 1995. So our issue that is happening here, of course, we're talking about 1995. We're in 2013. So the betrayal had to take that long. That today we can now have a conversation, and you can say, which is proper, that we use Farrakhan as a race traitor, but he was a race traitor in 1995 when he came and took Queen Mother out of the nursing home and brought her to the Million Man's March and then brought her back into there. When we ourselves had come together and found her in there with no underwear, nothing. And that mud cloth coat that you seen her in up there, it was a bunch of us sisters that put our monies together so that she could go there looking decent. But nobody gave us ear to say that we should honor her wish that she should be able to transcend at home. So I'm really glad that today we're having this conversation, and I salute you. Because that's the first, well, not the first, but that was a major traitorous act that happened, and then it shows that we put too much confidence in a person where all of those men were there, but no one thought to ask, where are you going, Queen Mother? Because the confidence was put in a man that could send the NOI into the Amsterdam nursing home to take Queen Mother out of there to bring her to the Million Man's March. So the contradictions have been going on for a long time.
So what do you have to say about in terms of the decline in black manhood?
This is where we have to make the connection, because if you think about all the men that showed up, not one were able to even discern to ask, where are you going, Queen Mother? You see what I'm saying? And that's a disconnect. We're talking about the disrespect of the woman. Now, at the time that I went looking for Queen Mother, I come out of the black nationalist movement, and it was a big betrayal there where 300 acres of land that I had that we were going to build a haven for youth was stolen by our own people. And so I said, well, let me go and find Queen Mother and ask her what should she do in this situation, since I'm witnessing betrayal. Because this land, we didn't have to die for it. Nobody had to go to jail for it. We had it. So let's do something. Let's build a haven for our youth.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
During the time of the Black Power movement and things of that, it's clear that you were, there and you saw this. What happened to the strong black manhood that we saw prevalent back then?
COINTELPRO. You see, COINTELPRO, what I figured out was the Petri dish. You understand? So that was the test run. So now you know how they say a rollout. So now the rollout of COINTELPRO is the Department of Homeland Security. So we cannot say and do in the same manner that we say and do, but we do have to say and do. But what we do have to realize is that the betrayal has happened long time ago. And these people that you hear on the radio, that say they're down, all of those people hung up the phone on us, treated us just like white folks, because we're talking about the Ethiopian Coptic Church. We're talking about so many organizations that were down with Queen Mother Moore until they began to use her as a mascot. And I charge that she was our oldest political prisoner, because would we have brought Harriet Tubman back?
So let me make sure, because I'm pretty sure I understand, but essentially what you're saying is, instead of actually showing respect and consistency with it, it was a thing of, let's parade her in front of people.
But the Nation of Islam is not the only organization that did that. We come out of the Republic of New Africa. Nobody from there stood up with me. Association with Asura Set. Nobody stood up with me there. We talking about Gary Bird. No, he hung up the phone.
Let me do this. I know we at the end of our program, but I want to ask you one last question. What do you think it's going to take to get a revival of black manhood among black men in the modern context?
First off, courage. Okay, because, brother, I'm 59 years old now, and still my voice and voices of sisters like myself who have struggled through this, you understand me, are shunned aside as being irrelevant. Why? Because, you know, if you, like you said, hold the line, okay? And they don't hold the line. I call them Negroes with a niche. The so-called revolutionaries, they got a niche. They got a clique. You understand? So we have to really remonetize ourselves. And we have to ask the question, how is it that all of us showed up and nobody asked, where are you going, Queen Mother? Because if we would have asked that question back then, we might not have had to ask the question so harshly today, because it was Queen Mother that got the black community to re-talk to Farrakhan after Malcolm X. Understand? And she was insistent that he had to be brought back into the fold. And one more thing I'm going to say. My late husband got sick, and he transcended from home. Okay? So I'm not talking about something that I have not personally experienced. You understand me?
And let me do this, because we do have to go to our next call, but I just want to make sure I understand this correctly. So you're saying after Malcolm X was murdered, the black community was very hostile to Minister Farrakhan, and you're saying that the person who worked for the Nationalists to allow Farrakhan to be accepted again was Queen Mother Moore?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. And Queen Mother Moore's last wish was that she should be able to die at home. And we formed an organization called We Care. And I'm telling you, everybody shut the door on us. And Queen Mother Moore died in the hands of our enemies. So anytime you see these people giving these memorials and celebrations, traitors.
Well,
because they pimped her like a mascot.
We appreciate your call and definitely your passion, and definitely giving us that information, because that's information.
Mother, it's been a long time, and I am just so happy that I am still alive to give voice, because she loved us. And you know how much she loved us? That she didn't even have an attitude that we betrayed her. Now that's love, because I'm still angry about it.
Well, I thank you for the call, and we definitely gonna have to ponder on that. And I appreciate you calling, and we want you to call back again in the future, sister.
All right, brother man, and thank you. I'm so happy you picked up the baton.
Yes, ma'am.
All right then, free the land.
Yes, ma'am, free the land. I'm gonna tell you, that's real. It hits me a little bit, because I gotta admit, man. You know, I love Queen Mother Moore. I hear all these stories about how when Brother Garvey came, she had all the sisters ready, and the crackers came. They were going to kill Garvey, and all the sisters pulled out the guns from underneath their skirts and said, you ain't going to do nothing to Brother Garvey. And so we hear all these heroic things about these brothers and sisters, and Queen Mother Moore, Dr. John Henry Clark, Dr. Yosef Ben Yakinen, all these people who dedicated the greatest parts of their lives to us end up poor and poverty-stricken and dying without us being there to support them, and no place to stay, and a race trader like Farrakhan running around turning our people over to the devil, and people call up and want to defend them. It's just, don't be a Farrakhan. Call up from an anonymous number. You live on Warner Horizon. All right, 1302. You live on One Horizon.
I'm just listening, brother. I know you wrapping up. I'm not coming after that, sister. She said it.
Yeah, I know. She kind of shook me. I'm trying to get back on that point. Appreciate you calling, brother.
Yep.
Boy. 2075. You live on Warner Horizon. 2075. 5282. You live on Warner Horizon. 5282, going once, going twice.
Oh, brother, I'm just listening in.
All right, brother. We appreciate you listening in, brother, and we definitely see you on the battlefield. All right. Our last call, 6937. You live on Warner Horizon.
I missed most of the call, so I thought I was going to try and catch it. But, Irritated Genie, I like your work. Keep it up, brother.
All right. We appreciate you, brother. I appreciate the support, and we definitely see you on the battlefield.
Indeed.
All right, brother. All right, brothers and sisters. Well, we heard tonight, man, the call from the sister just got me kind of shook because I'm sitting there thinking that's another program we need to do. And we did discuss this before, but we really got to do a conversation, brothers and sisters, on when we're going to build something and have something so that we can protect and take care of our elders. And got to have infrastructure to do it. But we really got to do better because the people who do the most work for the race always end up dying miserably. But the pimps and the hustlers end up going out living large and lavish. The Mobutus of the world, the Farrakhans of the world, and it should be the opposite. The people who racially betray us should be the ones that go out with nothing, not a pot to pee in and not a place they can show their face and be respected. And the people who do the greatest work for our people, the Dr. John Henry Clarks, we should be walking around with stools on our shoulders, carrying the brothers around the community. And instead, it's the exact opposite. We really do have to do something to change this our reality. So that's a program we definitely going to have and talk about. And I don't know what we can do in the short run, but it's definitely something we got to do because what's the reward of dedicating your life to the race if the only thing you're going to have is poverty and pain and betrayal or people forgetting who you are and what you've done for them. So we got to clean that up. But I want to end the program strong, not long. So brothers and sisters, thank you for calling in tonight. I think it's clear, it's concise. And I really want you to do this, brothers and sisters. I want you to pass it on to Brother King Samir because he's a brother. I don't know if he can do it right now because of the situation, but Sister Nefertari, we know, Brother Samir. These are people that create culture. Brother Jeff, once they start saying it and putting it out there, people start doing it. So I want you to start doing it in passing. Don't even break it down to people what you're doing, but just say, man, don't be no Farrakhan. In the right place at the right time. We want to start desecrating that name as much as we possibly can. And we want to start uplifting the names of those Queen Mother Moores, the Dr. John Henry Clarks, the Dale Jones, peace be upon them all, who stayed in the grind and remained loyal to us for the entire time of their life and committed to us as a race of people so that we set a precedent. And we're going to start with Minister Farrakhan. He thinks he's bigger than all of us. He thinks he's better than all of us, and he's more important than all of us. We're going to desecrate his memory such that it be a payment for the betrayal that he gave us, one that he will suffer during his lifetime. And then, as we continue, the punishment will become more and more severe. And in the short run, in the next 5 years, we want it to be such an ugly concept of turning on your race that a person would rather kill themselves than do something like that, because not because of just what will happen to them physically, not because they'll get burned alive, even though they probably will, but because they can't stomach their people looking at them like they betrayed their own race. We want to make the integrity and the character in our race so strong that no black person can look themselves in the mirror and feel like they can live and breathe knowing that they betrayed their own race. And we also want the pure fear of Amen in their soul to know that if we know that they betrayed our race, ultimately we're going to destroy them to earth. So with that said, brothers and sisters, we love you. We appreciate you. And, you know, I know it was harsh tonight, but, you know, we didn't come here to be your friend. We came here to save you. We love you, and we'll see you on the battlefield. War on the horizon. You got to love it.
Yeah, let's go. Sitting in this place to me seems like paradise, but life is a gamble like the roll of a paradise. Trying to get checks on the side like the pair of knives. My black skin is beautiful, you don't wear it right. Protected by my essence and protected by my weapon. My Bible is a rifle, my Quran is a psalm. It strikes down my enemies, my knife is my psalm. God bless your soul, I got your life in my palm. No love for my enemies, God said you'll send to me. Knowledge of myself, you ain't my friend, so don't pretend to be. Turning your cheek, the tyrannies are sending me. My God in my gun, I walk with him, you'll begin to see the blessings received energy. I still got prices like rolling up a diamond weaver. I already quit, I need to breathe when it's time to bleed. By any means you can dream to protect the season, cause my GUN was given to me by my GOD. My holy bullet, leaving you holy footed to your grill. You be killed if for minding your Tony full of your pale skin. Bullets wet you up like whale skin. This white man is devil, I'ma send you to hell then. I'm working on my aim, no more thinking like a slave. With my guard and my gun, I'ma put you in the grave. I rise like the sun with my guard and my gun. I walk with them hand in hand like father and son. My God told me stand strong, never told me to run. My gun to my enemies, once squeeze is done. I rise like the sun with my guard and my gun. I walk with them hand in hand like father and son. My God told me stand strong, never told me to run.